And so when you look at the idea of returning back to Louisiana, as far north as Maryland, Alabama, okay, the Carolinas, there's a lot of black folk. Mississippi is the largest state of black folk. More black folk in Mississippi than any other state in the 50s. And so if we were to do that and go into our own, become our own senators, we would up the amount of black senators immediately, Congress immediately. We would up, and by the way, when you run in the state, when you run in certain things, you don't have to ask nobody for reparations. They give you reparations. Something we can do. This is doable.
The Mississippi Campaign represents everything that you claim that you want. The beginning of an all-black independent nation, the ability to control your own resources, your politics, the law, be able to do your own thing for a change, create an economy, create and produce goods that Africa or anybody on the planet would want. You think you don't want to do nothing. 3 hours talking about the Mississippi Campaign.
Let's see, Talik says, can you send a shout out to my platform, the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry? Our theme this year is After Purge Comes the Heal. Shout out to your platform, Talik. All the best to you guys with continuing to stretch in perspective, to stretch in what is possible, and to continue to bring healing into the space of yourself and others. Yes. Just keep it going.
For black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody do for me. Like that, can we make it plain and simple? Bringing knowledge and fire and reality simple. Reality simple. For black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody do for me. Like that, can we make it plain and simple? Bringing knowledge and fire. Just keep it going.
Himself, and you don't realize it. You don't realize it that God has been in prison. The devil was able to imprison God. So right inside your own self, your God self has been imprisoned, and you have a false sense of self running rampant inside the temple. This is why, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We have to bring Reality's temple here on earth. Reality's temple here on earth, because
Yes, sir.
we have to realize the enemy is running rampant inside this temple.
And that is Brother Talik from the Reality Temples on Earth channel. And if you get a chance to subscribe, please do subscribe to his channel. He's a good brother. You know, he's doing good work, and he wants to do good constructive things. He has good information to provide. So please do check out his channel if you get a chance.
My brother Angel Snubnub 7 at the Realities Temple. And to give props to him, because I listened to all of Angel Snubnub 7's videos. I think that he comes from a different angle, and there's a powerful message in a lot of the videos that he put out, and I try to catch all of them. I look at him as a free thinker and a person that's willing to challenge those of which he don't agree with or which he may think differently from, and I really respect him for that. He's challenged KNBS, and he has also challenged the Black Supremacy Movement as well. And I have nothing against that, because that which cannot be challenged cannot stand and will not stand and will not survive the test of time. How many challenges we can withstand will determine how long we will be able to stand.
Just keep it going.
brothers and sisters. This is Tangi Cox, the Black Sheep, and I am propositioning you to entertain just a little while of being in reality. And this is gonna hurt soul sisters and brothers because a lot of us cannot accept reality. I empower you to, for 1 year, to subscribe to the Reality Temple on Earth. And at the end of 12 months, draw your conclusion of what have you learned in that amount of time. I empower you. You will never, ever, ever think, feel, or entertain nonsense ever again, period. I would like to see my soul sisters and brothers awaken. This requires time. You need to spend about a year watching, researching, and looking. Reality Temple on Earth is life-changing, and I stand on that.
Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride. Let's get this party started. Ride. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride. Let's get this party started. Ride. Let's get this party started quickly.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another spontaneous broadcast of what we call the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper or the host of this program. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty, Angel Snub 7. I am your soul brother, number one. I want to welcome all of you who are under the sound of my voice to this spontaneous broadcast. I am always so happy, and it is an honor that you would give us a few moments of your time that we can share a message and have a civil and brotherly and sisterly conversation on certain topics that sometimes can be emotional, but we are able as adults come together and listen to your brother, not just hear your brother, because just because I make noise you hear me, but are you listening to what your brother or to what your sister say? I do my best to listen and comprehend and try to understand a opinion or an ideology, a message that someone is trying to convey to me. I am so happy that you would give us an opportunity to do this. We are simulcasting on, of course, here, Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry YouTube channel, Angel Snub 7 YouTube channel, Realities Temple on Earth YouTube channel, our Facebook channels, and those associated with our Facebook channels. So hopefully we will have a nice conversation within these few minutes. I do not intend to hold us very long. I just want to make a point on this topic, and we're going to get out of here, call it a Saturday. Saturday is our day. Others prefer Sunday. I prefer Saturday. No particular reason except maybe because on Saturday so many of us gather together to watch Soul Train. And that's what I'm here, my self-appointed, no God, my self-appointed mission, purpose is to bring back soul. Not only soul as music, but soul as a culture that the descendants of slaves born in America, the victims of Jim Crow and the Black Codes, a culture that our ancestors actually created that did not come from no foreign place, but it was created because of our sojourn here in the United States of America for the last going on almost 500 years. So let's get started on our topic. Shout out to PVT in the chat room. Shout out to those in our Facebook forum. We want to go ahead and talk about this. You may not hear this from nobody else, but I always say, I could be wrong. I could be in error. Nobody else says. I've listened to many videos, many different never-ending persons. I never hear them say, I could be wrong. because what they bring to us is the truth and is right. And when you talk like that and your truth is challenged and you can't back it up, then you want to get angry at those who challenge your truth. You want to get upset and start calling silly names. I thought you had the truth. The truth should be able to stand alone. It don't need you to defend it. But half-truths and lies get in trouble when the questions, when the interrogation starts coming forth. For a long time, since at least 1930, in our community, in the soul community, in the Black American community, we've been taught that the black man is God. This was something that Brother Malcolm X stood on because he was a believer in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and in the Nation of Islam. And I was there also, so I can say that we were taught that the black man is God. And it made us feel good. The black man is God. But we never really, and still even to this day, we really don't question that. What are you saying? When you tell somebody, well, you know, brothers and sisters, the black man is God. And I want to be fair because when they say, or we were taught the black man is God, we're actually saying black people are God, male and female. But for some reason, it's always who gets the most shine? The black man. You got to worship that penis. They don't never say, well, you know, the black woman is, no. The black man is God. I mean black people. Well, if you mean black people, why don't you say, well, the black people are God? No, there is emphasis. And even the women say, and mute themselves, well, you know, the black man is God. It means, I don't know. When you say the black man is God, you are saying this particular person, this individual is God. When you say black people, that could be a black child, that could be a black woman. As long as they're black, as long as they part of the black people are God. But there's emphasis on the black man is God. Going back to some of our earlier conversations, well, if the man is leading the charge, then he got to handle the heat. You can't just take all the praise and the glory when things go right, when things sound good. If the black man is God, you leading the charge, you can't say, well, you know, brother, we're going to start saying the black people. You're not doing that. You're saying the black man is God. That's what you're saying. So the male or the man or that penis has to accept the responsibility of that title. We want to talk about, have we lived up to that title called God? Don't get angry at Angel Snub 7. Get angry at the people that told us these fairy tales and these damn lies. That's who you need to get angry at. Don't get angry at the one that say, hey, this don't make any sense. Something here is wrong. The human being is incredible. The human being is an amazing life form. What makes us stand out among the other life forms on the planet? What has made the human being so successful, actually over successful? The human being has, as they say in religion, the human being has been blessed with a superior brain. You can't tell if you go out into the streets and how many people act. You can't tell that you have a superior brain. How can you have a superior brain and you're a crack addict? How can you have a superior brain and you gender confused? And you're a drunk. You are a liar and you're a thief. You have no character. You have no integrity. You have a superior brain. We wonder about that. Violent. The only way you know how to solve your problems is through violence. What is the behavior on social media? What is the best media? The violent movies, the profane movies, the slander, the gossip. You don't want to hear about Michael Jackson entertaining cancer victims. You want to hear about Michael Jackson. Did he molest them? That went on for years. They didn't talk about that man when he was entertaining children that was going through cancer. But when they said, oh, he's molesting them, oh, that went on for years, because that's what the superior brain, that's what you are attracted to. Slander and gossip and violence, debauchery, lies, fairy tales. The superior brain. I'm so happy to have our Nation of Islam, brother. I guess we have a love-hate relationship, maybe. I don't know. Brother Robert Epps, who believes in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And this month is Savior's Day. Those who can make it to Savior's Day, perhaps you should try to attend. And those who aren't, maybe you can and I will listen to the Savior's Day address the week of February the 22nd, I believe. To my knowledge, the Nation of Islam is not the only one who was teaching that the black man is God. But the human being is an amazing life form. I cannot take away from the human being because it's proven. There's no doubt about it. But the average person can't do nothing. You do very little. The average person does very little. Many people have no skills at all. Can't even cook food. They go to McDonald's, they go to the microwave oven, you don't even know how to cook food. But you have a high IQ. You're the highest life form on the planet. Some of you can't change a car tire. Some of you can't read and write in your own language. But we are the superior. We are God. How you going to be God and can't read and write? Now that's one thing about the Nation of Islam. When you join and they find out you can't read and write, oh, you're going to learn how to read and write. How you going to call yourself God and can't read and write in the language that you speak? The average person can't do nothing. If it was up to the average person, we would still be living in the Stone Age. This is a fact. You don't know how your telephone works. You don't know how gas in your car work. You don't know how electricity come to your house. The majority of us don't know how to do nothing. Then you don't talk about, I'm a God. You God and don't even know how your computer work. You don't know how to bring water into your house. You don't know how to raise chickens. You can eat chickens, but you don't know how to raise chickens. But we're giving these names. The black man is God. The black people is God. A certain group of folks invent and discover certain things, and the rest are beneficiaries. If I'm wrong, you make a list and put in the chat room. You make a list of what you have done to make your contribution to the evolution of humanity. You're just a beneficiary. But God is not a beneficiary. God is the one that gives the benefits. So if the black man is God, it's a certain individual, a certain group. It can't be the whole people because the whole people don't do nothing. This is facts. They don't do nothing. You got the title, but you have no power. You don't show that you are God. You ain't done nothing to help humanity. You're just a beneficiary of those who invent, those who lead. You're just a beneficiary. You offer nothing. The average person offers nothing. So the black man is God. Can't be talking to black people. But now, if the black man is God, then they still have to live up to that title. We're gonna see if this black man lives up to this title. You God. Sounds good. I remember when I was looking for a job, and I was so tired of making minimum wage, and I saw this management job, supervisor job. I had no experience being a manager. But what I figured, they have to train you or whatever anyway, so why not lie? That's what I had to do. I lied on my application, said I had all this experience, and they were so desperate, they hired me. Now, the problem would be for me is I lied that I was a supervisor and had all this management experience, and then when I get on the job, I fail. But that did not happen. I picked up things real quick. And I earned my title. Even though I got the title based on falsehood, I got the title based on a lie, I was able to live up to the title. And I eventually, when it's all said and done, I have about over 12, 15 years of restaurant management, retail experience, being a supervisor, being a manager. I got started on a lie, but I lived up to that title of manager and supervisor. Now, we really begin to hear that the black man is God when we talk about religion and spirituality. And religion and spirituality begins to put us, flesh and blood beings, on such a high level. We already know that we are more intelligent than the other life forms on the planet, allegedly. Because I know that you heard of the old saying, talk about, I got to paraphrase it, but many of the most intelligent people are the most stupid. Intelligence don't mean that you smart. Intelligence, having a high IQ don't mean that you wise. Calling yourself God don't make you better than somebody else. These are proven facts. These are things just to make us feel good. That's what they do. Religion and spirituality puts us on a level we can't even die. Oh, this is just flesh and blood. And we're gonna reincarnate, and we're gonna transform it to conscious energy, and we don't even die. So the sheep die, the dog die, the elephants die, the grass die, everything die except us. There's no proof. Ain't nobody came from the fifth dimension. Nobody came from heaven, or nobody came from hell and told us nothing. A few months ago, I spent about 2 weeks going back and forth to the graveyard. Ain't nobody said nothing to us. Even when I stepped on top of the grave, nobody said, hey, get your foot off me. It was quiet. A bunch of ants and a bunch of flies running around. But we're taught that we can't die. And all those people in that graveyard, ain't nobody heard nothing from none of them. We becoming arrogant. We think that we're more than what we are. But when you get sick and start hurting, the reality shows. And when you go to the morgue with that toe tag, all that stuff that you talk about don't mean nothing. You, the black man, is God on a slab. The black man is God with all these tubes going in and out your mouth. The black man going to dialysis. The black man have to take all this medicine, whether it's holistic or whatever. But you God. What kind of God need medicine? Holistic or otherwise? God got to go to the hospital where people that don't believe in God do surgery on them. What kind of God are you? You can't die. Well, you see, brother. Well, let's understand the title. I was taught that God only means that which has force and power. That's the simple definition of God. That which has force and power. It's a title. The black man would be, I would say, the black man would be the noun. And let me get this right. The black man would be, the black man would be the title. black man would be, well, black is the adjective describing the man, and God is the title. It's incredible when we start talking like this and we make these points. This is why you don't argue and debate with religious people, because they're just going to ignore the truth, because they're not interested in truth. They're only interested in what they believe in. They're not going to accept the reality of things. So I don't waste my time debating and trying to argue with somebody that don't want no truth. They only want to continue to push their propaganda that did not even come from them. It came from some foreigners, some camel herders in the desert. Didn't even come from you. No foreigner, and nobody can claim on this platform that it came outside of me. Did not come from the Middle East. I don't need nobody from China to tell me nothing. I don't need nobody from Africa to tell me nothing, or Australia, or Antarctica. I don't need nobody to tell me nothing. My brain and my power is just as good as yours. Now, when you come up here and show us that you can't die, that you don't urinate, that you don't take a dump, then you might have something going on. You live and breathe and you're going to die just like me. Ain't nothing special, ain't nothing godly about you. Well, you see, brother, we are a God, but we serve the God. That's how it's explained. See, the definite article, the. There's one supreme super being, the God. And the God is the superior. And we are the a God. We are the inferior. We gods, but we are the inferior. And we serve the God. Gods don't serve gods. Gods don't bow down to God. I'm a God just like you. That's why police officers respect other police officers, because I'm a police officer just like you. Teachers respect other teachers. I'm a teacher. I'm a scholar just like you. President Trump, when he go to other nations and visit their president or their prime minister or whoever their leader is, they're not impressed by Donald Trump, because I'm a president too. I'm a leader of this nation just like you are. So how can you call yourself a God and you got to bow down to somebody, to the God? So there should be the president that control all the countries, the union that control all the unions all over the earth, the union. That's not how it works. But these things don't make any sense, but we embrace it because it makes us feel good. Lies make us feel good. God is that which is have force and power. You and I are nothing but a God. The black man is God, but he's a flunky to the God. He has to bow down and serve. He has no power. He has to serve the God, which tells us that the black man ain't nothing but a slave. You're not a God, you're a flunky. You got to bow down and pray and ask another God to help you and do this and do that. What's the sense of calling yourself, well, you know, the black man is God, and you have to ask something outside of yourself for help? Because God is that which has force and power. And you are powerless. You are flunky. And you have no brain on your own. You got to go read some book that has to be translated from some foreigners to begin to try to understand how you're supposed to operate. What kind of God are you? What kind of God are you? You have to get a book from a foreigner. You can't even read the Quran. You can't even read the Bible without translation. But you God. If you God, you're supposed to be able to read these books without translation. It's all lies. The same way the white man gave us Christianity, it's the same way how God treats the people that believe in him. Same stuff. It's bad when the white man do it, but it's all right for God to treat you the same way, like a damn slave. Now, the God, you keep telling us, oh, you know Allah, oh, you know Jesus, oh, you know Yahshua, Yeshua, well, all these different names that we have for the Most High, and it goes on and on. You keep telling this lie about how powerful this God is. Where is the power? Our ancestors was on a slave plantation for over 200 years. We was under Jim Crow for over 100 years. There was no God that did nothing. What made the change was when these people had an internal conflict, and our people, a certain group of them, just got sick of it and decided to fight. No God came out of the sky nowhere and did nothing. We give this God these credit and praise for doing nothing. You wouldn't let me get away with that. If I told you I did this and do, the first thing you're going to say, prove it. Show and prove. You're not going to let me get away with nothing like that. But when we ask God, show and prove. You come up with these excuses because you don't have any proof God did nothing. God created the universe. Prove it. Did you see God when he did it? Where's your proof? Where's your evidence? False claims. You couldn't even bring that nonsense to court because the first thing the judge, the court want to say, where's your evidence? God woke you up this morning. God ain't did a damn thing for me this morning. You prove God woke me up. Now for me, you would ask me, show and prove. And I can show you evidence, and you still was probably saying, I don't believe that. That's fake evidence. But you bring up God with no evidence at all, and that's acceptable. When you say that the black man is God, there's a high standard you put yourself on. There's a high standard that you have to live by. Just like when I was a supervisor. A supervisor supervise those under. You can't function on the level of the people under you. They expect you to function higher than the people under you. So if the black man is God, then there's a higher standard that you have to live up to. There's certain expectations that is expected of you. This is the excuse why the black man is God has no power. Well, you see, brother. See, you don't see, brother, you don't understand the teaching. You don't understand the teaching. So you see, Allah brought the black man down so he can prove to the world, or prove to himself, his power, and raise the black man back up. That's what I was told. That's stupid as hell. Who the hell gonna do that? That's just like saying, oh, we are going to destroy Walmart so we can prove to the world that we can raise Walmart back up again. Who the hell going to do that? Ain't nobody in their right mind think like that. That's stupid. I'm going to cheat on my wife. I'm going to beat up my children. I'm going to purposely destroy my family. I'm going to show you my power. I'm going to bring all of us back together again. Happy, happy family. Who does that? And then in the Christian religion, they say that God sacrificed his son knowing the people not going to change. Who? How many of you, raise your hand, how many of you will sacrifice your son, your daughter, your children, your family, and you know that these suckers are not going to change? The whole thing don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. The black man is lost to what he used to be. The black man is made deaf, dumb, and blind. He don't know that he's God. He's lost to the knowledge of self. Who is this self you talking about? There's no proof of this self. Where is it? Then they always point to other people's history. You ain't never lived in Africa. You ain't never lived in Egypt. You never lived those things. That's not you. And what I noticed, the people that actually can claim all these things, they don't even talk about it. But you talk about those things because you want to be a part of something that make you feel good. Let's go on social media and let's find Egyptians bragging about Egypt. Let's go find Africans talking about and bragging about ancient Africa. They don't make videos. They actually could claim these things and they don't do it. You got to do it because you and I suffer from low self-esteem. Living in a place that made us slaves for hundreds of years. Call us the N-word for hundreds of years. Made mockery of us. You eat watermelon. You love fried chicken. You're black and you're ugly. That's the type of stuff that we have to deal with for hundreds of years. So when somebody said, well, the black man is God, we jumped on it. That's why they follow Marcus Garvey. That's why they follow Elijah Muhammad. That's why they follow Noble Joel Lee. Because these people was telling you, you God. Who wouldn't want to be God? And that's cool when you're trying to give somebody self-esteem. The problem is, can you live up to that? And we have not come nowhere close to living to this claim, the black man is God. Because God means that which has force and power. Force and power. You are not a force and you have no power. Don't get angry at me. Come join the conversation. Bring your force and your power. You can't even give examples. There's a lot of hype in the black conscious community. Some people believe that Donald Trump, the president, is going to do this and do that. Why you got to wait on Donald Trump? Why you got to wait on something that for white folks to do this and that? I thought you was God. I thought you had force and power. You got to wait for Donald Trump. You got to wait for Joe Biden. You got to wait for Ronald Reagan. You got to wait for white folks to destroy themselves. But if you have force and power, you can take them out. You got to wait for a miracle. You got to wait for a savior. Oh, the black man is God. It don't make any sense. You put yourself on a level that you can't live up to. That's not my fault. If I took the manager job, I don't know how to do the books. I don't know how to do, I can't keep my labor costs down, my food costs down, my utilities down. I can't make a profit. They start looking at me real funny. I thought you said that you was a supervisor. I thought you was a manager. They're going to fire me because I cannot live up to what they expect. They expect me to be a manager. They expect me to be a supervisor. And I can't get nothing going. They're going to fire me. I have the title, but I cannot live up to it. So I get fired. The black man is God. What are you and I doing to be God? What is our force? What is our power? There is none except talk. We love pretty speeches. I sure like to listen to Dr. Umar Johnson. I sure like to listen to those people talk on Sonetta TV. I sure like to listen to Brother Sanchez and Young Farraskis and that. That's all they offer is talk. I'd rather spend my money going to see the Avengers. It's the same thing. The Avengers is more entertaining. Because you go see the Avengers, no, you go see the Black Panthers and you listen to these people and you think all that stuff is real. It's not real. If it's real, show us your force, show us your power. There's no argument. It's nothing up for debate. Just show the force and the power. I didn't see no black man jump out the sky and save that airplane that just crashed. Black man is God. No God saved those people. All 67 in that incident, all of them perished. Jesus didn't save them. Allah didn't save them. Nobody saved them. But the black man is God. Shout out to Eldridge Cleaver. Shout out to our brother who detects the myths. The brother that detects the myths. Myth detector. I know a lot of people don't like him either. Detects the myths, the falsehoods. But this is 2025. This is supposed to happen. These things cannot continue to go on and on. These lies, this fiction, these facts, it's got to stop. We cannot grow. We cannot evolve on these lies and these fairy tales. And you cannot live up to these things. The black man is God, and you in the white man's jail. The black man is God, and you on the street, and some Peckerwood got his knee on your neck. Mama, mama, help me, mama. What? The black man is God? The black man is God, and you abandon your children. You can't feed your wife and your children. Black man is God. I got to go sell some drugs. The black man is God. He got to go out and sell drugs. He can't feed himself. The black man is God. And you can't solve your problem without violence. Cussing people out profane and nasty. But, oh, you could be God. See, it really don't say what you the God of. Yeah, the black man is God. God of what? Being a slave. The God of enslavement. That's all you. That's the force and the power that you can prove. You are a good slave. You're a good slave to the white man, to the Arab, anybody. You got to follow. You got to serve. You got to bow down. You're a good slave. That's God of slaves. That's the only God that I can come up with and see that you can actually prove. We do a disservice to ourselves. There's a disservice to individuals. There's a disservice to ourselves when we try to help somebody and try to help them build self-esteem by putting them on a level that they cannot live up to. I remember when I used to play basketball. Everybody can't play basketball, but everybody should be able to go out on the court and enjoy the sport of basketball. When I used to get my teammates together, the ones that really couldn't play good, I didn't tell them, oh, you're going to be the next Michael Jordan. I can't tell them that. And they would even like, you a lie. They even know I'm not the next Michael Jordan. But you try to encourage them so they can enjoy the game. We've been given this title, the black man is God. Here we are, our ancestors Our ancestors were slaves for over 200 years. Our ancestors was victims of Jim Crow and the black codes for over 100 years. And then all of a sudden, you're going to tell them, oh, you God. What? And even if we were God, you can't tell somebody that clearly ain't on the level of no God, oh, you God. You can tell them maybe you have the potential. You can't tell them because they cannot live up to it. We haven't lived up to the potential of God since we got this teaching, oh, the black man is God. Nobody that I know of or heard of have lived up to the definition where you can say, oh, that person that is a God. A good preacher, that's the best they're going to do. I remember in the Nation of Islam, they talked about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. All praises due to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, our divine leader, teacher, and guide. They don't call him God. They give that to Master Farad Muhammad, Allah in person. But even him didn't live up to the level of God. He was put in jail. He was ran out of Detroit, Michigan. How you going to be God and somebody run you out of Detroit, Michigan? Put you in jail. You God. When God means I have force and power. The excuse is, well, God just want to show us when you stand for truth, God want to show you the consequences of standing up for truth. We already know about going to jail. We already know about getting beat up by the police. You ain't showing us nothing new. So what are you showing us? And it don't have to be for truth. George Floyd wasn't speaking no truth and was brutalized and killed. So you ain't showing us nothing that we don't know nothing about. We already know about getting lynched and torn feathered. And it had nothing to do with truth. It had something to do with being black in America. That's what it had something to do with. We do ourselves a disservice by making a claim that we cannot live up to. I could be wrong. Anybody can come here to this platform and you can teach me, because I'm not beyond teaching. But you and I both know you're not going to get that off, because this don't make any sense. You can believe whatever you want to. I don't argue with religious people. That what makes you feel good. I'm not going to do it. I don't want unearned praise. I don't want unearned credit. I don't want to be God. I just want to deal with the level that I'm on, because I already know I cannot live up to be no God. But if you want to be God, then don't get angry when people ask you, well, where your power at? And you make excuses for not being able to do anything. That's on you. I don't want to look silly. I don't want to look insane. So you tell people, even when you're trying to build their self-esteem, give them something realistic. To tell them that they're God is not realistic. Because that's on a level we'll never be able to get to. We're never going to get to that level. Then you say, well, the white man is the God of this world because he has force and power. But his force and power is limited because he's going to die. So what's the sense of being God and you're going to die and rot? You got to train your sons and your daughters to do what you was doing, Mr. God. And then the right thing that happened on the earth will wipe you out. We're taught these lies, especially in the Nation of Islam. We're taught these lies that the black man is over 76 trillion years old or something to that effect. Most scientists will agree that the earth is only about 5 billion. So where the hell was these black folks living? Where were they at 76 trillion years ago? It definitely wasn't on the earth, because the earth itself is only about 5 billion. And mammals came after the dinosaurs and the birds and the insects. They have not found no 76 trillion year old fossil on this planet. Nowhere. Recorded history of man is only about 5,000-6,000 years, a little bit over, something to that effect. But scientists said that human beings or modern man been on the planet for about 300,000 years. But we only have about maybe 10,000 years worth of recorded history that they found. If you're interested. A lot of us not interested. We just want to smoke, drink, make babies that we can't afford, go to these jobs that we hate. That's what's on our mind. We don't care about what happened 76 trillion years ago or none of that kind of fact. That's the average human being. And we call all of them, oh, the black man is God. How can you call these people God when the average person can't do nothing? Make a list of your powers. What do you contribute to the evolution of humanity? Most of us nothing. We're nothing but beneficiaries of something other people done. And then we become racist. I've never heard a scientist say, well, I'm discovering this because for the white people. Oh, I'm discovering this for the Asians. I'm discovering. Nobody that invent anything, make music, whatever they do with their creativity, I've never heard them say, I'm doing this to prove that the white man is superior. I don't remember Nazis even saying it. Even though that was their teaching, I don't remember during the Olympics, I never seen newsreels where those athletes was talking about, I'm running to show that the white man is superior. You know, caught up in all this, racism got us sick. Racism is worse than COVID. Racism is worse than the Black Plague. This sickness, and this is our problem. We allow this, we're supposed to be so intelligent, we're supposed to be God, but even God is a racist. The black man is God. He's prejudiced. What about the other people on the planet? He's a racist. The black man is God. Who cares about the white man? Who cares about the Asians and the Indians or whoever? The black man is God. That's because all of this is a consequence that comes from up out of the sickness of racism. This didn't come from no God. It come from people that was under the influence of racist mindset. Black is European racial classification. It did not appear until the late, I believe, 1700s. There was no such thing as white people. There was no such thing as black people and all this other stuff. It didn't even exist. So if it didn't exist, so how could the black man exist 76 trillion years ago when the definition or the identity of a black people did not come into being until the late 1700s? It don't make any sense. I can't do it. If you want to continue to believe in that nonsense, that's your business. But don't get angry when people start coming at you. They would like to come at Angel Snub number 7, but they know they don't have nothing to, they know they don't have a leg to stand on. Because this is the reality. And if it's not the reality, please check me. Because I want to be right. And if I wasn't bringing it, trying to keep it real, I would tell you, this is just my belief. I believe this. I'm not going to tell you about my belief, at the same time try to show you that it's real. No, it's a belief. Nation of Islam teaches is belief. Moorish Science Temple is belief. Pan-Africanism is an ideology they have turned into a religion. These are beliefs. It's unrealistic. And when we point out how they are not realistic, folks get angry because they make you feel good. I'm a God. Well, show us your power, God. Well, I just not. Show us your power. Turn into a ball of flame. Do something. Show us your. That you can't show nothing. You can barely pay your bill. The black man is God. You don't even have a car. You got to ride the bus every day. And you don't even make the bus. Now, if you make the bus and you God, hey, that's my bus. I'm riding on it. But you have no power. And for some reason, I'm going to say this and we're going to get out of here. For some reason, you believe white folks is scared of black people. How are they scared? How are you a threat when they kept us on a slave plantation for 200 years? Kept you under Jim Crow for 100 years and still whooping your ass right now. They give you a few dollars to pacify you and keep going on about the business because you love money. You have no principle. You have no integrity. You easily sell out for money. It was a family here in St. Louis. It took them over 10 years. A jury has awarded them $18.5 million for the death of their loved one. Are they going to use that money to fight police brutality or whatever? No. They're going to get that money and live high on the hog. Y'all, it's easy to sell you out. You easy. Long as you get some money. I got paid. You don't care about your loved one. It's just somebody that died. And here goes some greedy lawyers. And everybody won't make money off of this person's death. You don't give a damn about police brutality. You don't give a damn. Because if that was the case, you've been fighting police brutality before the person died. George Floyd's family would have been fighting police brutality before he got killed. And all these other, Trayvon Martin and all these other people, they wasn't standing up against injustice. And they're not standing up for injustice after their loved ones died. They go into Disneyland and play with Mickey Mouse. The black man is God. It's an outright lie. It's a fairy tale. It's something that you tell somebody with a childish mind. Here comes Santa Claus. Here, same thing. Here comes Easter Bunny. Right here. Same stuff. Only a person with a childish mind, not with the mind of God. I have the mind of God more than you do because I'm not depending on no God to do a damn thing for me. I do it for myself. And I would dare to say that God will support me more than you. Because I don't have to pray to him to do nothing. If God want to help me, that's cool. I'll do it on my own. Just like your parents. The parents love all their children, but the parents love their children that can do for themselves. They graduate out of high school, they go to college, they get a job, they raise, and don't ask them for nothing. But then you have that child, don't want to go to school, want to do drugs and act silly. They don't. What child they're going to support? They're going to support the children that can do for themselves. They're not going to support they don't have no respect for the child. Mama, can I have $2? Daddy, can I drive your car today? I need a way to work. I don't want to ride the bus. Well, the reason why you're riding the bus is because you don't want to work the job to get the money to buy your own damn car. That's how you are every day. Oh, Allah do this. Oh, Jesus do this. Oh, the Most High do this. You're begging because you're God, the God of being a slave, a servant, a follower. That's not my fault. You can get angry at me, but there's many, many people coming up. They're getting sick of it. Every time they try to destroy Angel Snupnup 7, every time they try to break me down, the people find me and they bring me right back. We don't have to agree, but they're getting tired of the nonsense. Because you're making all these claims and ain't nothing coming true. It just goes on and on and on. It's like Tom and Jerry. Tom been chasing Jerry for over 50 years. Batman been fighting the Joker for over 50 years. Superman been fighting, what's his name, Lex Luthor for over 50 years. It just goes on and never stops. Allah never destroys Satan. It just goes on and on. He been fighting Satan for 1,400 years, 2,000 years. It just goes on and on and on, like a dog chasing his tail, round and round. It never ends. The Avengers, Spider-Man, been fighting Dr. Octopus ever since 1963. It just goes on and on, never stops. The Joker always get out of jail. Always get out of prison. What's the point? Even, I'm going to say this, get out of here. In the comic books, even Batman start getting upset. Batman was like, I keep putting this cat in the insane asylum. I keep putting him in jail. This laughing idiot keeps getting out. I'm going to kill him. That's the only way. That's the only way you're going to be able to stop it. But if you kill the Joker, that's one of the best villains for Batman. I can't make my money no more. I got to keep the Joker alive. I got to keep these things alive. Because if I kill the hero or I kill the villain, that's the end of it. I will pretend Superman died. Then I'll bring Superman back. I will pretend Batman died. Bring Batman back. They got to stay alive. They got to keep fighting. That's how I make my money. That's how religion stay alive. If God killed the devil, that's the end. Common sense. Common sense, people. Right? If you kill the devil, that's the end. Now, some of you might say, I'm going to say this, need to get out of here. They want the white man dead because he's the devil. I want the white man dead. And that'll be the end of it. No, it won't, because you have the same mindset. Devil is not a skin color. Devil is a mindset. So all the Caucasian people, they can go extinct today. Nothing is going to change because the mindset is still here. Nothing's going to change. It could be worse. Look at Africa, prime example. It's the mindset. It has nothing to do with skin color. Except he's your devil. He's your devil. But the white man might not be the devil to other people. He's your devil. And nothing's going to change. So again, should we call the black man God? You can call yourself whatever you want to. Being God and calling yourself God, two different things. And we're not living up to that. That's not my fault. And you can give no examples of nobody that has lived up to that. What's wrong with just being the best we can be? What's wrong with that? Just being yourself. I love being myself because now I don't have to live up to nothing higher or lower I'm just me. But you want to try to claim to be more than what you are. Don't get angry when people say, when you say, oh, I can make 60 points a game, and you barely make 10. You get angry at them. No, you the one made the claim that you can make 60 points. In the Nation of Islam, they teach that the rule of the devil ended in 1914. And as time goes on, they make excuses why the devil has not been destroyed. The fall of America. Been teaching the fall of America for over 50, 60 years or more. America's still here. In the 80s, Louis Farrakhan said that Ronald Reagan was the Antichrist. The fall of America. Ronald Reagan is dead and gone. America's still rolling. And Elijah Muhammad is gone. And Louis Farrakhan is close to being gone. They got us hyped up on these lies and this fantasy, this fiction. Accept reality, my friend. It's much easier. I guess I will address some of these comments before we get out of here. One of the comments, Eldridge Cleaver said that he was told about me from Sister Rashida Strober, the world's dark-skinned activist. Shout out to Sister Rashida and her family, her husband, her daughter, Lauren. They're in Florida. I appreciate my sister. Known each other for a long time. We actually met in person. Really, really nice lady, Sister Rashida Strober. You can check out her channel, the Dark Skin Activist channel, Sister Rashida Strober. Eldridge Cleaver says, I'm sensing anger from disgruntlement. When you are talking the truth, when you keeping it real, people always, you angry. You should be angry when you was lied to. You should be disgruntled. Because somebody have lied to me, and I thought you was telling me the truth. I trusted you. How do a person supposed to act? You're my wife. And I open up the bedroom door where we sleep, and there's another man with you in my bed. You've broken trust. You have betrayed me. I'm supposed to feel anger. I'm supposed to disgruntle. Some people go out and they will get a gun and blow your brains out. And some people actually have gone out, beat up preachers, beat up these people that told them these lies. Shout out to the Dark Side of the Moon. And I don't know what comments, Brother Robert, because you can come on the platform. I'm not going to be reading all these comments. You don't want to come in person because you don't want to try to explain these things. Always they write all kinds of stuff in the comments, but don't want to come and explain these things in person. I sit back in the cut and let you talk. They cannot explain these things because they don't make any sense. He says, God made medicine. But he don't bring no proof. White people's medicine is not real medicine. He offers no proof. God made medicine. Where's your evidence? Where's your proof? It's just talk. He says, you become what you submit to. Black people submit to white folks for over 200 years. They were slave masters. So that's what we're trying to do, become a slave master because we submitted to them. They violent, profane, dirty, and nasty. So we want to be like them. Is that what you're saying? You become what you submit to. How you going to become, you submit to a God you never met? Even if Master Farad Muhammad is God, you ain't never met him. How you going to become this man and you never met him, don't know nothing about him? But you see Louis Farrakhan, and a lot of the brothers try to cut their hair like Louis Farrakhan. They try to speak and talk like Louis Farrakhan. You can't become something that you can't become something that you never met. It looked like Brother Robert trying to come here. I can't. It's not coming through. Mexico says, God made the black man. I got the proof. Well, come bring us the proof. Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry channel. I have the link. And you have no proof. The only thing you have is talk. You have no proof. You only have talk. There was no such thing as a black man prior to the 1700s. Nobody called themselves black or white or Asian. All this stuff, all this race garbage, it didn't even exist. And why would God concentrate on skin color? In life, there's negative and positive. A lot of us want to be tall. But in certain situations, you might wish you were short. There was an advantage if you was black, but you was real light skinned and had European type features so that you could pass. There's bad and good in everything. Nothing is perfect. What is perfection? Robert is trying to come through, but I can't get him through. I tell you, I can put you on speakerphone. Call my telephone number. Robert, call my number. And I'll put you on speakerphone. Call my number, Robert. I'll put you on speakerphone. Because it looks like you can't. Robert is trying to come through, but for some reason having technical difficulties. He said he's going to call our telephone. My telephone number is 419-270-6955. 6665 Mescowa, whatever, I can't pronounce that name. MCHEZO. You got the proof. You can. My phone has. I can put you in on the conference call too. And brothers can come here and show us their proof, and I have no problem with that. I can sit back in the cut but we will have questions though. We have questions. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Brother Rob, what's going on?
How you doing?
I'm all right, sir.
Okay. Now, you was dealing with the black man being God, right?
Yes, sir.
And you was talking about how the black man is God, but that is a title, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, that's true, brother. It is a title that we all should be striving to live up to.
Mm-hmm.
We've been beat down for so long through slavery and through, the educational system. So we needed somebody to come and tell us again who we are, because we don't have the knowledge of who we are.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So you can't get to college without going to kindergarten first. First grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, until you can get to the college level. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So in the 1930s, Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Minister Farrakhan, and all the ministers of the Nation of Islam, they came out and it was teaching us that the black man is God, to wake us up to who we were.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But we're not going to reach that title of godhood overnight. It's going to take a process, years into the future, until we can become that God that we all speak about. You understand what I'm saying? So nothing happens on the instant. Even the self-creation of God himself that Elijah Muhammad taught us about 78 trillion years ago. Elijah Muhammad taught us that it took 6 trillion years for God to make himself in the darkness of space. That's 6 trillion years it took him to make himself. So if it took him that long to make himself, we damn sure not going to become gods under what we've been through overnight. It's going to take some time. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be reprogrammed into who we are. We got to be constantly reminded of who we are until it sticks in our brain who we are. Are you there?
Yeah, we're listening to you.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So we constantly need to be programmed, because every day the white man is constantly programming us to be niggas or the N-word.
Right.
So all day long we walk around calling ourselves the N-word. And what do we practice? We practice the works of an N-word. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So our people need to be re-educated to get up out of this false mindset that we are N-word, because that's not who we are. We didn't create the universe being N-word. We created the universe being ourselves, gods of the universe. Before the black man and woman, there was no universe that we live in today. Now just think about that. Before the black man and woman existed, there was no such thing as a universe. But once we made ourselves out of the triple darkness of black space and made life itself, now we have a universe. But the universe wasn't here before the black man and woman. We created the universe. So we got to get back to that level. We got to get back to that concept of who we are. Because the white man tells you and teaches us in school that the black man and woman come from apes, from monkeys. And that's a damn lie. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be re-educated. We have to be taught who we are first in order for us to express and be ourselves again. You understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to touch on that. You understand? And I left some comments in the comment section.
Yeah.
And I was saying things because you was talking, and God was inspiring me to say those things in the chat down there.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about some of these comments that you was making? You said a lot of stuff. I didn't pay no attention. I couldn't see all that.
Well, no, I'm just glad that you accepted this phone call, or you invited me on your show.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to say something to you to get us to understand that we have been dumbed down since we've been on the shores of America. We've been dumbed down. They took our language from us. They took our cultures from us.
Mm-hmm.
They took everything from us and made us into what we are today, which is N-word, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? And we proud now of a lie that was taught to us by our slave master. And we got to get some money that, because we're not N-words. We are not niggas.
Mm-hmm.
We are not an evil people. We have been made into an evil people because we've been in subjection and in submission to an evil people. So now we are white folks in black skin. We are devils in black skin. But that's not who we are. We are gods. Elijah Muhammad said that every time he looks at a black man, he's looking at God.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a false statement. That's actual facts, because without the black man, the universe wouldn't be here. You understand what I'm saying? The universe comes from the mind of a black man and from the minds of black men and women for trillions of years. We have been creating life and existence and planets and everything else you want to think of in the universe. It comes from us. Even the white man himself comes from us. You understand? But the white man is a scientific experiment that we are experiencing with ourselves to find out how we can become a perfect people that will perfect the creation, which is not perfect. The universe itself is not perfect. The earth is not perfect. The sun is not perfect. But you can't get a perfect sun, a perfect earth, a perfect planet, a perfect life into the black man and woman is perfect. So we had to bring this brown germ in it, this negative in it. We had to extract that from us in the form of white people and study it for 6,000 years. And then once we study it, we can improve on it and eliminate the thing that's been giving us problems since the beginning of time. You understand what I'm saying? Am I making sense?
As you know, I was introduced to the teachings of Elijah Muhammad when I was a child. I was 8 or 9 years old. So I've heard it. I joined the Nation of Islam with Minister Farrakhan in 1981 as soon as I came out of high school. But I joined Minister Farrakhan not for him to be my teacher. I joined him because he said he was rebuilding the Nation of Islam, and I didn't have a chance to be in the nation when Elijah Muhammad was here. So he said he was building the nation. I did not join to follow him. I joined to rebuild the Nation of Islam and bring that back. That's why I never called myself a follower of him. I always called myself a helper. I did not come to follow you. There's nothing that Farrakhan could teach me. I knew the teachings. I've been under the teachings since I was 8 or 9 years old. So yeah, that's not why. I never was impressed. Matter of fact, I questioned a lot of the things that he was teaching, because I never had, Brother Robert, I never had a opportunity to go to the mosque when I was young. So the only teachings I know is what I got straight from the books, Message to the Black Man, Fall of America, How to Eat to Live. And my relatives, they weren't supposed to do it, but they saw how I wanted to join the nation so bad. They started sending me the lessons, lesson C1, C2, and blah, 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 So they didn't even teach me. Everything that I learned straight from, the books and from the information. And I heard Farrakhan start teaching, and a lot of the things that he was saying was true to a certain point. But I started noticing that Louis Farrakhan was making up things on his own, because when you listen to Malcolm X, Malcolm always said, well, the messenger teaches us this, the messenger teaches us that. Louis Farrakhan can speak for 5 hours and barely say, because his reference points is not the original teaching. Matter of fact, he even said that he's supposed to bring something. He's bringing something new. So, I'm not into the new. I was connected to the old. That's all I wanted to hear. Even Brother Eric Muhammad, with all his cussing, I see that he's more on point than Farrakhan, because he always said, well, the messenger teaches this, and he always referenced the material, the books,
Okay, my brother, let me ask you something. I'm going to deal with that, what you just talked about right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you ever heard Rakim before? The rapper Rakim?
Yeah, Eric B. and Rakim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever heard Rapper's Delight?
Yeah, that was one of the first rap albums that came out in the early 80s. It was the one that really kicked everything off in the 80s, like 81, 80, 79, 80, something like that. Rapper's Delight.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question. Wouldn't you say that Rakim's style of rapping is superior to the Rapper's Delight song, or the style and how they rap? Would you say so?
I never liked rap at all, for real. So I can't judge rap. Actually, I liked the Rapper's Delight. When rap first came out, it was basically party music. It was fun stuff. It wasn't all this, things that you hear now. It's nasty and derogatory and vulgar now. But when rap first came out, it was hip hop, hippie. It was fun music, party type stuff.
Right.
And I did I wasn't I wasn't no fan of it, but I liked Rapper's Delight. I did hip hop to the hippie. I was in high school when that came out.
Right. Okay, so my example was this here with Rakim. Rakim is viewed as one of the greatest rappers of all time. You understand? And what I was saying was this. You brought up Farrakhan and how Elijah Muhammad taught back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, and how Minister Farrakhan is teaching today. Well, I was bringing up the rap example to show you that, back in the day when Rapper's Delight was out, that was cool. It was fun. It was great. You understand what I'm saying? But rap at that time was still a new thing. So they was rapping in a sort of like baby type of language. Like it was real easy to rap like how they was rapping and stuff. But as time went on, rap evolved. And people started to rap different. And they started to rap more advanced for the time. You understand what I'm saying? So basically what I'm saying is this. Rapper's Delight can't come out today and rap like how they used to rap in this day and time and be successful.
Mm-hmm.
You have to step your game up in this day and time to compete with the rappers today. You can't rap like Rapper's Delight did back in 1979 and sell millions of records today. You gotta rap like Lil Wayne. You gotta rap like Drake. You gotta rap like some of these other artists that's out today. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the same example with the Nation of Islam. We can't come out and teach the way we taught back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s and be successful in this day and time. Because we heard that before. We don't want to hear the same stuff over and over, decade after decade after decade. So Minister Farrakhan evolved the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. As a matter of fact, Minister Farrakhan said at one time he was teaching on the true history of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
and he brought the tape back to Elijah Muhammad. And Elijah Muhammad spanked him, disciplined him, and said, brother, I don't want you to teach the teachings as I taught them 30 years ago. I want you to teach the meaning of what I taught. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear Minister Farrakhan today, you listening to Elijah Muhammad. It's just that the language, he just improved the language for the day and time that we in today. Because we don't want to hear the same old stuff we heard back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s. That's not going to work today. Just like we don't want to hear Rappers Delight style of rapping in 2025. That's not going to work. That's not going to cut it. So it's all about evolving. That's a part of God too. God is about evolving. You understand what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, we evolve. As the Holy Quran said, from a life journey, entering into the wombs of our mothers, attaining stage after stage until we come forth from the wombs of our mothers and we become baby.
Exactly.
But you don't stay baby. You don't stay a baby. You grow. You become a child. You become a young adult. You become an older person. That's the same way it is with truth, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It's an evolving thing.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So that's one of the reasons why Minister Farrakhan is so successful today, because he understands and his teacher, Elijah Muhammad, understands that, hey, man, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is an evolving thing. Sometimes you can look at something that you read 10 years ago, if it's the truth. And you can look at it today and get new meaning from it because we have evolved. Your life has evolved and you see things differently than you did 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You understand? So, yeah, God is a title. The black man is God. That is a title that we all should be striving to live up to every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't strive to live up to it, you lose it. It's just like a martial artist. If a martial artist don't constantly practice his art, he won't be a master anymore.
Exactly.
You have to keep studying. You have to keep practicing. You got to keep evolving. Otherwise, you won't be the master that you are today that you was yesterday. So I'm glad you allowed me to come on your program.
Yeah. So
being anywhere on the internet, I've been typing.
Yes, sir.
But I'm gonna come out of the.
Okay.
And I'm gonna step on the world stage with you all. And
yeah.
You all will hear my voice this year.
I know that's right, Brother Rob. I'm glad to hear your voice. I'm glad to hear your voice and have a little. At least I can't see you, the way I want to, but at least I heard your voice, and you've been around a long time. Much respect.
Much love and respect to you. And when I'm looking at you,
yes, sir,
I'm looking at God. When I look at you, I'm looking at God. Certain things. Certain trials and difficulties you've been through in your life.
Yes.
Who you are. But I don't see myself as better than you.
Mm-hmm.
Not too. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But even gods make mistakes. Even gods mess up. You understand? Since we're living in an imperfect universe, all the gods who've been on this planet Earth for trillions of years were not perfect. But we believe in the Nation of Islam that Master Farrakhan Muhammad has come to perfect us and the universe. So this is a totally new thing that's been happening for trillions of years. This is something new. Mm-hmm. This is why God said in the Bible that he was going to make all things new.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he's going to make all things new, then that means that this is a new thing. You understand? So you're a God, I'm a God, we're all gods, but we were never perfect for trillions of years. We never were perfected. But we're living in a day and time where we will be perfected. And even in this day and time, we're not going to become perfect overnight. It's a process to being perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Muhammad Ali became one of the greatest boxers of all time, not instantly, but through trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still a God in that ring. When he jump in that ring, he show you that I'm God. You understand what I'm saying? You can't take these jabs. I can take hits, I can move, I can duck. He mastered his craft. Same thing with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was a god of basketball. You understand? And so he used to stand at the deck of greatness and godhood and basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what it is, brother. You know, just sometimes, man, you know, through our trials and tribulations, we get disgruntled, we get discouraged, we run into a problem that we think that our knowledge has not allowed us to solve or whatever, and we get beat down, and we, you know, go into depression and all this other type of stuff. But that's all a part of being God. You can't let stuff that you don't understand stop you from growing in your Godship, in your Godhood, just because you don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like one time I remember you talking about you being incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you said you don't believe in God because God allowed you to go to jail, be incarcerated. Well, guess what? Joseph went to jail in your Bible. He went to jail. He went to prison for a long time. But in his jail time, he didn't give up on God. He didn't turn his back on God and say, "Hey, look, I don't believe this. You know, I don't believe in this no more. God put me in jail." He went through what he went through. He came out of jail, and he became king in a land over his brother who sold him out. God put him on top of him to teach him and them a lesson that, hey, if you stay faithful to me, I'm going to elevate you to where you'll be over the people who sold you out. You understand? So just because you went to jail, that don't mean that God turned his back on you. That don't mean that at all. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Well, I tell you, even before that happened, even when I was a child, I questioned religious teaching.
Okay.
A lot of it didn't make any sense to me, but because I was raised as many people in the Baptist church. Then, of course, as you know, I was introduced to Nation of Islam. That's all I knew as a child. So, and I never was taught that it was a belief. I always thought all these things was real. The word belief never even came to me. You know, I thought these things was real. I didn't believe in God. I always went from, I know God because, you know, this is real. It's real. I never knew that it was a belief. You know, it's something that we believe. I never understood the concept of belief. I thought this is a real thing. But but being a comic book, I was introduced to comic books in the early 70s too.
Right.
And I asked the preacher one time, I said, man, how come the stuff that I'm reading in all these religious teachings, how come that's real, but Batman and Spider-Man not real? Because there's a lot of stuff that's in these scriptures and stuff like that. It sound like my comic book. And, you know, he tried to explain it to me or whatever, but that never. And I tried to believe and all that, but these questions kept arising. I just never felt it, but I just didn't know what to do. I just didn't know. You know something. It's like your spider sense. Something is wrong, but you just don't know what it is. You know, so just time went on. I met an atheist one time. I was in front of the mosque, and I talked to an atheist for the first time. And this he was making sense to me. But of course, I was in the Nation of Islam, and he didn't really want to argue and debate. He said, "Yeah, whatever. You know, believe what you want to believe." He went on by his way. But that conversation stayed with me forever. As well as the autobiography. I was reading something from the autobiography of Bruce Lee. And somebody asked Bruce Lee, did he believe in God? And Bruce Lee basically said, when God come and do these push-ups and run or whatever, I believe in God. I never heard nobody talk like that before. I'm like, what? I never heard nobody. I didn't know what atheism was. What is this stuff or whatever? But, I always question this concept. And you never see this God. You keep giving credit and talking about this person, this God person. Like, where are you? Where is he? Everything I ever got in my life, if I didn't do it, it didn't get done. Matter of fact, when I was incarcerated, God didn't do nothing for me. I messed around and got introduced to those law books. I got into the law books and I got myself out of that situation. God didn't do nothing. God didn't do no reading. God didn't do nothing. And then I took my knowledge and helped other people get out of that place. So, I give no credit to no God unless he earned it. Now, if God earned it, I said, I didn't do nothing, just something happened. I'll give God that credit. That's not what happened. I had to work at those law books for hours and hours and hours through trial and error till I got myself out of that situation. I'm not going to give God credit for something I did. And even prior to that, Brother Robert, I reached out to the Nation of Islam because I did help almost 9 years. I did help them for almost 9 years. They told me, oh, brother, that's Allah punishment. That's what they told me. They didn't say, well, brother, we can help you. You always our brother. You've been here for 9 years. No, they said, you left. Allah didn't do nothing for me when I was in the Nation. What the hell you talking about, man? Allah didn't do nothing for me. The only thing, out of my whole 9 years with Louis Farrakhan, I didn't even get an ink pen. The only thing I got was I had the privilege, the honor of sleeping on pickle barrels, working for the temple. They wouldn't even allow me to have a bed there was an empty bed in the mosque because I couldn't pay to rent the room. So I ended up sleeping on pickle barrels to work for the temple down in the basement. And they let me have some burnt up bean pies. We had this what do you call it? With the East St. Louis school system to make bean pies for them, and some of them got burned up, and they let us have the burned up ones. They didn't look pretty, so they gave the ones they couldn't sell that didn't look pretty. They let us have. That's it. Out of my whole 9 years, the only thing they ever done was take. That's the only thing Nation of Islam ever done was take. They didn't give us nothing. My relatives, all of them are in their 70s and 80s now. They don't have nothing. They was here when Elijah Muhammad was here. So they've been in Nation of Islam a long time. They have nothing to show that they've been in Nation of Islam 50 some years. They don't have nothing to show for it. If it wasn't for their jobs, they wouldn't have no pensions. They wouldn't have nothing. The Nation of Islam, the only thing they did was just take. I'm not doing that. And it was exciting at first, Brother Robert, when I first joined Farrakhan. I was 17, turning 18 years old, and it was exciting at first because I never been out of my hometown, and I was able to travel a lot of the country. Minister Farrakhan was going to different places, and I was blessed, as they say, to go to. I was with Minister Farrakhan when it was only 30 people in the meeting. I was with Minister Farrakhan when he wore the same old shoes and the same old raggedy suit. He was poor.
Right.
He was real poor. And me and brother, what's that brother name? Brother Frank. Brother Frank was the mechanic of our temple. And Brother Frank would take me to Minister Farrakhan's house, and he had an old Lincoln, I believe, and an old Cadillac. That's what they was using to go back and forth across the country with. And Brother Frank, they called him the official mechanic for the nation at that time. And I would go with him, and we would keep Minister Farrakhan's cars on the road. And I was there when they published I wasn't there when they published the very first final call, but I was there when they published the number 2, the second final call, and so forth. And because Minister Farrakhan, we used to go get them straight out of his house. Before they got the final call building, we was getting stuff out of his house. Then they bought the final call building. So, but like I said, all that was exciting at first. And I wouldn't take nothing back because I learned a lot of things. I met a lot of good people, things of nature. But as I grew, see, I was 18 years old. I never done nothing. I never been out of the state. I was so all it was exciting. Then you meet all these different people. I was able to, I said, because of Minister Farrakhan, I met people like Bernie Casey, that actor, Ashford and Simpson, and I I was personal bodyguard for Jesse Jackson's daughter when he was running for president back in the day. You know, it was exciting for a long time. But, you know, that starts getting old when you need some money in your pocket. You know, how I'm going to do something. I got, you know, something got to change here. And, you know, I had to make a move for myself because they were satisfied with me just wearing a bow tie, selling bean pies and stuff on the street. I said, I'm going to have to make some moves here. I can't, you know, this is not working. I have to do something for myself because clearly they're not looking out for me. The only thing they ever do is take. You know, just take. I mean, they worked the hell out of me. You know, I stayed on post I don't know how many times. You know, I was on the street, which I enjoyed it for a long time. But then, you know, after a certain period of time, you start looking at it like, I think I'm getting pimped. You know, because I'm not getting done out. I don't care about these speeches, you know, the pretty speeches and whatever. We making these promises to the people in East St. Louis. Well, you know, you support the nation, and the Nation of Islam going to do this. Do you know East St. Louis didn't get nothing going until some white people in Missouri said, we're going to invest in East St. Louis. Nation of Islam was in a position to do all the things that these white folks did recently, last 10 years. Nation of Islam was in a position to do that way back in the 80s. But all our money went to Chicago so Minister Farrakhan could build that Mosque Mariam. That's where all our money was going. So we couldn't do nothing in our temple. And I'm like, I'm tired of working and sacrificing, giving them to Chicago. That's Chicago business. That don't help me in St. Louis. You know, people looking at me, they said, what you going to do in St. Louis, East St. Louis? And you know, East St. Louis is 95% black? Nation of Islam could have actually took control of East St. Louis. It could be a power in that and built. East St. Louis could have been a Nation of Islam town because the people actually loved us there at that time. And they was there, but you know, the leadership, those people start arguing amongst each other and acting silly and couldn't get nothing together. You know, it's just whatever. I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't do it no more.
It's just like what the Holy Quran said. The Holy Quran said that trials purify.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So we all have to go through trials to be purified to where we should be. You understand what I'm saying? That's all part of the process of evolving and growing. We're going to make mistakes, but we can't give up on each other. See, the thing about black people is we give up on each other when we're going through trials, you know, and tribulations. We want to stop. We want to quit because we don't see the long-term success immediately. You understand what I'm saying? You know, it's like what they say, you know, the old saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. You know, you hear that type of, you know, that old cliche or old saying.
How long have you had these teachings, Brother Rob?
We have these teachings since 1930.
So how long, like I told a brother that was on our program a few months ago, and at least he was honest. I said, man, well, how long you need? He said, we probably need another 100 years. I'm like, wow, okay, another 100 years. You know what I mean? How long, you know, you're not going to hire nobody to come to your house and you need a new roof for your house. You don't want to hear, well, it might be another 100 years. You don't want to hear that. You want somebody to come to your house. How much do it cost? How much time is going to take to get this new roof on my house? You know, people that talk that way are scammers. You'll never get your roof. They keep what is that analogy about the donkey and the carrot? They put the carrot in front of the donkey and he keeps trying to he'll never get that carrot. He just go around in circles. You know, they just keep leading him on. You know, prime example is somebody like Umar Johnson, promising this school. You know, it just goes on and on and on and on. He's had about 4, 5, 6 grand openings. Matter of fact, I think he got one this year, a grand opening for his school that don't even have. It's not even nowhere near ready to go at all. But people want something to believe in. And if that's what you want to do, go around in circles, that's your business. I'm not that type of person. You know, you come to my house Tell me how much it is, how long it's gonna take, and you start building my roof on my house. I don't want to hear that type of talk. That's because most people that talk like that is scammers.
Okay, I want to say something. Dealing with the school. The Nation of Islam, we got a University of Islam in Chicago and some on the West Coast too. Schools or whatever. So it's not like the Nation of Islam is taking our people's money and not putting it to use. We got farmland in Georgia and in Detroit, and Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, had acres of land that he's putting to use for us and selling us good, clean food that's not GMOs and all that other type of stuff. But let me get back to what you were saying about you being in jail.
Yeah.
And about how you got yourself out. Well,
yeah.
You said that you're not God, but I say you are God. Because Allah said in the Holy Quran, he said, he will never change the condition of a people until they change their own condition. So you are God. Allah is you. You are part of Allah. And when you act and do, you got out.
No. You know what happened? See,
you studied. Listen. You studied the law.
Right.
You studied it. You understood it, and you executed it. So you are God because you got yourself out of that situation. And Allah said in the Quran, He will never change the condition of a people until they change their own condition, and that's what you did.
Well,
so I'll change your condition. You are part of Allah.
No, I'm not part of Allah. I can't do that. See,
okay.
I've always been good. I've always been good in English and reading skills. And when you're dealing with the law and things of that nature, you have to be able to comprehend, those papers, the paperwork and all that type of stuff. I've always been good at that anyway. And if I was introduced to those things early in my incarceration, I probably could have got out earlier. But I was ignorant to those things. And it was like 5 years later down the line, I was introduced to those things by helping somebody. I helped a white guy. He brought me the first paperwork that I ever saw. It came from this white guy. His name was Danny. And Danny brought it to me. He said, man, I know you know. Because, see, I was already filing stuff in that place. But it was using their system. You ain't gonna get nowhere. The whole thing is their system, but this was an in-house incarceration type crap. You're not gonna get nowhere with that at all. But I did it anyway. So Danny knew I knew how to read and write pretty well. So Danny said, "Man, you know how to read and write well. My lawyer gave me this paper. What do this mean?" I said, "What is this for, Danny?" He said, "It's to help me get out of here." Now myself and Danny, we in the same situation, except Danny was there voluntarily, and I was in there involuntarily. So we had a different, our situation was slightly different. But the paperwork, how you do those things, how you file, is the same. And so I helped Danny. Next thing you know, Danny was free. And Danny could have been gone a long time ago. His lawyers and his family wanted to keep him locked up in there. And so as long as he couldn't get no help, see, you have a right to file a petition for your freedom. Now for me, I can file for my freedom at the time twice a year. I didn't know that. By the time I learned, it was once a year. Danny could have filed any time because he was in there voluntarily. Mm-hmm. So I filed Danny's paperwork, and the court gave him a different lawyer, and Danny was gone. And Danny sent me a pair of Michael Jordan shoes. First time I ever had Jordan. And Danny sent me a pair of Michael Jordan shoes. I never had a pair of Michael Jordan shoes. They good shoes.
Right.
Which I actually played basketball in them. I didn't get them to look good. I actually played basketball in them. But
okay.
I didn't. That was my. Now what caused me to come into the current direction where I'm at is when I heard Pastor Ray Hagan, and somebody told me, because see, I was in there clowning, I'm still Nation of Islam basically, and I'm calling these people devils, Adolf Hitler, all that, I'm telling them how God gonna punish them. And they were like, yeah, sit your crazy ass down. They did not care nothing about all that. Matter of fact, I had a private meeting with one of those doctors, and he told me outright. He said, if you don't sit your silly black ass down, you are here, do what you told, and we might let you out of here. All this nonsense, crazy talk that you're talking about. And he said, go ahead and tell people I talk to you like that. And they don't gonna believe you. You're crazy. Do you see where you at, son? That's the way he talked to me. That's the way he talked to me. I was like, wow. You know, he said, obey, do what you're told. You know, he called me everything except the N word.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, calling us devils. He said, when it's all said and done, your ass gonna be in your room eating them old ass peaches from last lunch, and I'm gonna be at home with turkey and dressing with my family. I'm like, wow. He went off on me. And you know something? When he did that, I stopped complaining. I stopped calling them names because everything he said was true. It made me feel good to call them devil. It made me feel good to talk about God gonna do this to them. And I'm talking this stuff, ain't nothing changing. You know, time steady going. God ain't doing nothing, nothing changing. I'm watching a different staff. You know, the whole staff ain't changed. I'm like, wow, and I'm still sitting up in here. You know.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, brother, God did do something.
No, God didn't do nothing. You can give him the credit. I don't give God.
Okay.
If God did something for me, you prove that to me. Don't just say it for the sake of saying it. You tell me how God did it.
Okay, let me do that. Let me do that. Okay. Now, you know, in the Nation of Islam, we believe that God came in the person of
I don't want to talk about belief, Brother Robert. I don't want to talk about belief. Tell me how does God help me? Because I never seen the cat.
Okay. Listen. We say that he studied 42 years to deliver black folks, right? That's what we say. He studied 42 to deliver black people. And he came over here and he saw our condition and he went to work to change our condition. And he got one named Elijah Muhammad, who became his supreme student and minister. And when he left, Elijah Muhammad became the leader of the Nation of Islam, and he did things. He showed us how we can build a black nation of our own. Now, back to you. You say God didn't do nothing for you. Okay. Nope. Okay. Let's deal with that. We say Master Farad Muhammad studied 42 years. He studied. That's exactly what you did. You studied, and you gained knowledge. And once you gain knowledge, and you from your study, you was able to change your condition for the better. So again, you are God.
No, I'm not God. No, I'm not God. Even when I was in the teachings, I never made that claim. I never talked that way. Even when I was in the nation, I didn't talk that way. I never claimed to be God. I taught the teachings, but I never went and told people that I'm God and I'm all this and blah blah blah. I never talked like that. I always was on the level. I always saw myself just as an ordinary type person. I just was looking for justice. All this talk about black man is God. I just want justice, freedom, justice, and equality. I don't need all this feel good teaching stuff. That black man is God and blah blah. Because that don't help me. That don't help nobody. That don't help nobody do anything. If you want to help me, show us how to get out of this predicament once and for all. I shouldn't have to believe in no. I shouldn't have to believe in no God to come help me. I should be able to do it. If I'm God, what I'm waiting on Master Farad Muhammad for? I should be able to do it myself.
Well, you putting the cart before the horse. You see, somebody had to come and teach us who we were first, in order for us to become what we always were. You understand what I'm saying? We've just been asleep to who we were. But somebody had to come and teach you who you are first, in order for you to be to have a chance at being yourself. That's why Elijah Muhammad taught us about knowledge of self. Knowledge of self. We didn't have the self before Elijah Muhammad came in.
What is this self that we lack the knowledge of?
Well, we didn't know who we were. From Jump Street, We didn't know our origin in the world. We believed everything the slave master taught us. Like I said, they taught you and me that black people come from apes.
Well, that's not actually the teaching. What Darwin said, that people, human beings, came from out of a family of ape-like creatures. That's what they didn't say, that we came from apes. That's not what Darwin taught. He didn't say that we came from monkeys and apes. He said that the actual Darwin theory, we came from the lineage, came from a ape-like type creature that spawned branches from that spawned the different branches that caused the modern humanity to come into existence. That's not they didn't say that we came from that people came from apes. That's not Darwinism. So I wanna correct that. I mean, because I hear that all the time. Apparently people didn't, and they taught us that in school, grade school. Because I don't remember. I'm like, Darwin never taught that human beings came from apes. He said it came from, and then this is another thing. All of us, if you go back to our origins in the womb as an embryo, when you look at you can go do a Google search. Look at all the embryos. All of them basically look similar. The turtle, the human, the chicken, all of us got to be born, developed in water. And we all look like some kind of little fish creature, embryo. Matter of fact, we actually are living water, and it's a little dirt that's holding us up. We're over 70% water. Because, my uncle, I forgot how much he was, but he was a tall person, pretty heavy type person. And he was cremated, and his ash was like 7 pounds or something, like when they finished cremating. And that's all we are. We're nothing but living water. Without water, we die.
Well, right. And that's exactly what the Holy Quran says.
Yeah.
It all comes from water.
But it also talk about being made out of mud. Ain't no flesh made out of no mud. You can't make no life out of no mud. It made him out of dirt and mud and breathe. You can't make nothing out of no mud and no dirt.
Well, mud is water mixed with black dirt.
Yeah, but see, if human beings is 70% water, mud is less than 70% water. So we can't be out of mud and dirt, especially just plain old dirt. You need water mixed in there. But mud itself is way less more mud in it than water. So we can't be made out of mud.
Well, the Quran is saying that, but this is more to it than just that.
I know it don't make any sense. That don't make any sense. It don't make any sense.
It's actually talking about the self-creation of God when He created Himself in triple thought.
And who is telling this story? Who is telling this story? Because, see, my mother, I don't even know if my mother is my mother. Because I don't know if that's really my mother. A lot of people find out that the person they call a mother is a foster mother, or their grandmother is not their biological mother at all. Because we don't really know. We have to be told that. We had to be told that by somebody who was here to witness that, and have an understanding of that. Who was here to say that God created Himself 66? How would God know that He created Himself 76 trillion years ago? There was nobody around. He wasn't around. How do He know that? It don't make any sense.
Well, it's like this here. Elijah.
No, you can't. You can't explain that one, bro. You can't. How is He gonna? How do you know how old you are unless somebody recorded and told you? You don't really know.
Okay. Let me give you an example. Elijah Muhammad taught us about the moon being blasted from the earth 66 trillion years ago from high dynamite explosives. Mm-hmm. Okay. NASA went up to the moon, got some rocks, brought it back from the moon, and said that they smelled a smell like gunpowder.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Now, if Elijah Muhammad said that, and he said that this God told him that the moon was blasted from the Earth 66 trillion years ago from high explosive dynamite. And then in the 60s, they go up to the moon and brought back samples that smell like gunpowder. Then that should let you know right there that, hey, somebody knew something about the moon being blasted away 66 trillion years ago. As unbelievable as it sounds, it's fact. It's fact. It don't matter how old it is. If you smelling gunpowder from samples from rocks from the moon, then that should tell you right there that God came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, because only God knows what happened trillions of years ago.
Okay, check this out. When you're an astronaut,
right?
You can't live on the moon, right? We can't live on the moon. The moon, you cannot. The atmosphere of the moon, you can't breathe. There's no air on the moon, right?
Right.
Okay. So that means they have to put on this helmet, and you have to have an artificial oxygen in that suit in order for you to breathe. Correct?
Right.
Just like a diver going into the water, putting on that scuba gear, right?
Right.
He's getting his oxygen from that tank. Correct?
Right.
Now, so how can you go to the moon? There's no oxygen, there's no way that you can interact with that atmosphere, because that atmosphere would kill you. How would you smell gunpowder through your suit, and your suit is not getting no kind of oxygen or nothing from that environment? It's self-contained. How you gonna smell gunpowder?
Well, they said they brought it back from the moon, and they smelled it.
Okay. What do you know about dereliction or whatever, things that blow up or whatever? How long do you think something is going to smell like whatever caused the gasoline, or how long you think that's going to last after that blast? You think it's going to last 66 trillion years? And then when somebody come up there, ooh, I smell the gas. They must have blew the earth up with some gas. I smell gas in here. It don't. All those things over time fade away.
Okay, well, let's deal with that. They said that the moon comes from where the Pacific Ocean comes from, right? They said it was blasted from that point.
And the earth, the water stayed here, and a chunk of the earth went out, and the water stayed here.
You're right. And the water was turning over as the blasted, and the water from the moon fell to this earth part called Earth, and that's what the Pacific Ocean is. So, but we was taught that this God was very angry with us because he couldn't get us to speak the same dialect.
Right.
You understand? So he decided to destroy us, to kill us, to destroy the planet. He wasn't trying to make a moon. He was trying to kill us all off. But he failed to do that. And as a result, we got the moon at the day.
So you call look, so you call the white man the devil, right?
Yes.
But the white man ain't never try to blow the earth up and make another moon. Now you got a guy here that you call God, and he's holy and righteous person. This guy trying to kill everybody trying to blow the planet up. But you don't call him no devil. Why you don't call him a devil? He did worse than the white people have done. He trying to blow up everybody on the whole planet.
Right.
But you don't. Why you don't call him a devil?
Listen. I just told you that we came into the universe imperfect. The universe itself is imperfect.
So the white man is just imperfect. Why you gotta call him a devil though? He's just imperfect.
Well,
why you gotta call him a devil? Because he didn't try to blow up the earth.
Well, that's true. But today they got nuclear bombs all over the earth, white folks. So they do have the thought in mind to destroy this planet. They got the same thought he had.
But it still wouldn't blow up the earth. It still wouldn't blow up the earth. They can assume or speculate anything. It'll kill a lot of life, but it wouldn't, their little nuclear weapons, whatever, it wouldn't even hurt the earth like that. As far as the earth concerned, they're like, them idiots and killed themselves off. Oh, well, the earth will go right back to the jungles, the way that it was prior to human beings came here. That's what would happen. But here's a guy, and this is another thing, because you know the other story that I questioned too was the story of Yaqub's people coming back amongst the holy and righteous folks, and they blamed them for a lot of trouble, and you know they round them up and marched them across the desert to Europe, and you know that story there, right?
Yeah, I know.
Don't you think that's inhumane? First of all, you assume, because I'm reading the story, you assume these people was the troublemakers. The story don't say they just said they assumed that they was the troublemakers and they rounded them out. There was no trial. There was no jury. There was no justice. It was just speculation, and they rounded these people up. Then you took all their clothes, only enough to cover up their private part, and then you marched them naked, half naked, across the desert. Don't you think that's inhumane? That's sort of wicked. Why, if you had a problem like that, why you couldn't just say y'all gotta leave? Give them some food, give them water, and then and let them go across there. Why you gotta punish them, hurt them like that inhumane without a jury trial, with just speculation and assumption? See, if that story, Brother Robert, if that story is true, now you understand why the white folks went against black people like that, for treating them that way. So we're gonna pay you back for what you done to us.
Okay, but wait a minute. We invited white people in. We was kind to them. We invited them in peacefully. They in turn started to lie, causing us to fight and kill.
You don't know that. There was no trial.
Listen. I'm going by what the teaching said.
I know what the teacher said. What I'm telling you, the story don't say nothing about a trial. It don't say it was nothing but speculation and assumption that these people was the one that caused these things.
Well, according to the teacher,
that's not justice. That's not justice. That's not justice. People deserve a trial. People deserve a trial. They deserve a chance to get before people and show evidence. I didn't say that. I didn't do that. That's not justice. So how can you raise up a flag, talk about freedom, justice, and equality, and you deny freedom, justice, and equality? Because that was not justice. People deserve an opportunity to defend themselves, face their accusers. In America, you're supposed to have the right to face your accusers. Right there, them people said just because they were strangers in town, oh, it must be, just like they blame the immigrants. When, people come across this border or blame the immigrants. Oh, they did this and they do this and blah, blah, blah. There's no justice.
What I'm saying is it was 6 months they was in Arabia. And before, we had teachers. We didn't have no conflict or strife before they got there. But when they got there, all of a sudden, they started telling lies, and we started to fight and kill one another based on the lies that was told to us. That's a one-sided story, because you never hear their side of the story. What about their side of the story? What do they say? There's always two sides of the story. What about their side of the story? That would be justice. I'm not defending nobody. I'm not taking up for nobody. I'm just a just person, because I know what was done to me. That's why I was locked up, because they didn't want to hear my side of the story. They didn't want to hear about what happened to me. Oh, I'm just guilty, and they just punished me. And that's when I heard this story. When I began to think about this story when I was locked up, I'm like, they didn't have a trial. It was just speculation. It was one-sided. Right.
It's one-sided. That's not fair. That's not just. What about the other side? Even the devil in the scriptures, the devil do this. You never hear the devil. You always hear what God said. God this, God. What about the devil? We never hear his side of the story.
The devil's side of the story.
Yeah, what about his side of the story? We just assume now, if you look at the scriptures, God is the murderer. God is the one jealous and violent. It's not the devil. Matter of fact, the devil allow you to have your free mind. This God wants you to be his zombie.
So you believe that you almost sound like the dude on the movie The Devil's Advocate when he was saying all what you just said. You just said the same thing he said on Devil's Advocate. Satan himself was talking, and he said that, and he basically was saying the same things that you just said right now. That God is the one who's enslaving you. God is wronging you. He's unjust. So actually, you're accusing, or you siding with the devil in saying that God is the liar and the devil is really the good person.
I'm not siding with nobody. I'm telling you what the evidence. I'm telling you what's being taught. It ain't about it's about what's being just, because if you just, then you want to hear both sides of the story. And then when you look at the actions, you got God turning people into salt. You got God telling people to kill folks. You got God acting like the Godfather. Bring me your son and show me that you loyal to me. I want you to kill your son and for my name's sake. Like, who the hell are you, Al Capone? Who the hell, God? Is he Al Capone now? I mean, what the hell? God destroy you because you are homosexual, but at the same time, God made the homosexual, because nothing come into existence without God's approval. So he made the homosexual, then turn around, I'm going to kill you because you're homosexual. Damn, son, you made me. See, the whole thing don't make any sense. He's a jealous of God. Why would God be jealous? God don't have, why is God envious? I'm jealous God. Jealous of who? Why are you jealous? And apparently it must be more than one God, because he's jealous. Oh, you like the other God better than me. You a chump. Get the hell out of my face, son. Go back and eat you some camel juice in the desert where you come from. Because that's where all these gods come from. They come from the desert, from these camel herders getting high on camel juice. That's where it comes from. I don't want your camel God. Some stuff and Jesus came from the desert, them camel herders. The Quran came from camel herders. I was born in America. Only thing I know is about America. If God want to talk to me, why don't God raise up an American messenger? Don't bring me some supposed to be biracial person from Arabia somewhere. No. And apparently you must think the American black woman is not good enough for God. Why Allah cannot give an American descendant of slaves, victim of Jim Crow, why can't he give that female our messenger? Why we got to get some supposed to be biracial guy from the desert and he come over here and teach us we're not worthy, and then give us old hand-me-down book 1,400 years old? Our book should be 500 years old just like we are. I don't need your book. I don't need nothing from you, no foreigner. That's why they can tell you. That's why they can tell you how to do and what to do, because that's their crap. They can't come and tell me nothing about this platform because I run it. They can't tell me nothing. But if you were part of their garbage, because it was for them, and they can tell you, oh, that ain't how it go, because the Quran, because it's their book. It's not your book. It's some stuff that you got converted to. I don't want their book. They can have it. It didn't do. And what has it done for them? It ain't done nothing for them. And what has it done? We done had it for 100 years. It ain't done nothing for us either. I mean, for me, I don't want nothing to do with that. That's a losing proposition. I can't do that no more. I can't do it no more.
Like I said, you're saying a whole lot, and I can't really get my points in because you keep going on and on and on and on. I wanted to say something about you was talking about Lot's wife becoming a pillar of salt, and you were saying a whole lot of stuff that I wanted to say. But you were saying it too, it was.
Well, I was just giving quick examples of the dirt that God done. He's supposed to be so good. And he always talk about killing, threatening, and killing people. I say on my platform all the time. Matter of fact, don't you know I cursed God on my surgery day? I told God, kill me if what I'm saying is wrong, how I'm carrying myself is wrong. Kill me on the surgery table. Why they splitting my gut open, and I got all these tools to kill me.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and God didn't do it. With his, you're a chump. I call God a chump.
Well, you know why? Because God understands that you emotional and you.
No, it has nothing to do with emotion. It has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with emotion. No, it's like what they said in the Nation of Islam, show and prove. Show and prove. You making these claims and you saying this and that, show and prove. And these things have not been shown. You can believe anything that you want to. You know, to me, it's nothing but a big scam, because if somebody gonna put a roof on your house, they go ahead and put a roof on your house and you go about your business. You know, if you know what you're doing, if you know what you're doing, like I've had people come and do work for me. I give them their money, pay them half of whatever they charging or whatever. They come out, boom, boom, boom. Especially these Mexicans. Them Mexicans are some bad boys. I have to give them their credit. They come in, boom, 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 and go about their business. You know, that's the way we supposed to be. We ain't supposed to be hanging around, waiting, talking about, oh, it's going to take 100 years. Oh, it's going to take 200 years. That's because you don't know what you're doing, or it's a scam. It's either two things. You don't know what you're doing, or it's a scam. It's only two things.
I got a question for you. Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
How many years did it take for America to become a nation?
I don't know what it was. I really don't know. It didn't take that long, I don't think.
Well, we was over here since 1555. Black people.
But at the same time, it was not the intent for them to become no nation when they first got here. America was a corporation. It was a business. It was a business for Great Britain. That was not the intent to make no nation when they came here. The nation building started. The thought of building a nation came when these people over here was like, damn, we're doing all the damn work, and Britain getting all the damn rewards. The hell with that. That's when the nation building started. This place was a corporation when it first got started. It was everything they was doing was for in the name of the mother country. That's what it was. They did not come here to build a nation. They came here strictly for what is beneficial for England. So it wasn't a nation in 15 something. It was for the benefit of England, Great Britain.
What was the purpose of slavery then?
The purpose of slavery?
Yeah.
Well, of course, you know what the purpose of slavery. The purpose of slavery, of course, is labor, free labor.
Free labor to do what?
To make wealth, to build things for Great Britain. Because in the beginning, that's where it all was going. It was for the benefit of the mother country. Like I said, these people start looking at themselves like, man, we doing all the work. We fighting the Indians and the Bears and sending all this, and England getting all the profit. The hell with that. And as time went on, they start developing a lifestyle of their own, different from Britain. And they was like, we don't need the support of Britain. We making it and whatever. All this should be ours. And those people decided to make it there. They stopped. They decided we're not doing that no more. And they went to war with the mother country.
And what year was that?
I don't know. I'm not a historian. I don't know what year it was. I don't know when folks made up their mind, when they realized, we can't do this no more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think what kicked it off, according to their history, I think what kicked it off was that tea tax. I think that's what kicked it off. They was making them pay, because they was tea drinkers. I still think that Englanders, those people from Great Britain, I think they still love their tea. And so they they taxed that tea. They were like, oh no, we doing all this work and you gonna charge us? We doing all the damn work and gonna tax the tea? Oh, that would piss them. That would really started kicking them off, made them look at it. Hey, we need to kick this in the bud. And
so ultimately, slavery, our enslavement for 310 years was to benefit white people here in America.
Well, actually, it started off in England. It was to benefit England. And actually, because, England was a slave country. They practiced slavery. They brought slaves over here with them.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them weren't slaves. They did have some free black people that came over here too. They brought free blacks came here from Britain, and also they brought some slaves with them here.
But the majority of our 310 years of slavery was to help this white man to establish this country called America. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So my point is, it took us years for this thing called America to come into existence. It took years. And so I think we in the Nation of Islam are doing pretty good because we're only, 91 years old? And we're doing the thing. You know, we getting it started. It's not perfect. It's not where we wanted to be at. But if we keep working towards the goal, one day we will get there.
Well,
And,
I say the best way, and I'm pretty sure you done heard me talk about it. I say that the best way to get things started is this vision that we call the Mississippi Campaign. I think that's the best way to get things to going, because in that vision, in that plan, everybody's idea can work within in that plan, because the Mississippi Campaign, the vision, it puts all these ideas under one umbrella. You're not going to be successful. Nation of Islam is not going to be successful by itself. The Moorish Science Temple is not going to be by Pan-African. That's not going to happen. You got to put these things under one umbrella, and everybody go in one direction. Same goal, same vision, and go forward. You know, just like a car. You're not going to get nowhere if one tire go to the left and another tire go to the right and things of that nature. You're not going to get nowhere like that. And that's where we find ourselves. You know, it's not gonna work all divided up like that. The thing about the Mississippi Campaign is everybody, you sit down, and you carve out what you want to do. Like, I know that the Nation of Islam is good at schools, and they're also good at the military. So, you know, you take control of a state like Mississippi, Nation of Islam can use their experience, because we'll be in control of the National Guard. We'll be able to have real weapons in our possession because you control this state. So that means you control the state armory. You also be in control of the Mississippi FBI, all those type of things. This is going to be your baby. And you can't blame nobody for its failure except yourself, because you run all this. Everything is you. But we can do it because we done it for them. Why we can't do it for ourselves?
Okay, well, let me ask you this here.
Yeah.
You seen the first car before?
The first car?
Yeah.
Like a Model T?
Yeah. The very first car. Have you ever seen one before?
I seen pictures, yeah.
Okay. Can you compare that car to a Lamborghini today?
Of course not.
Okay. So that means that from the first car that started in, I guess, the late 1800s up until now, there's many, many, many more improvements to the point where we got a creation like the Lamborghini. Back to the evolution thing again. You understand what I'm saying? They was better able. Somebody first created the car, but over the line of time, people kept improving on the cars and keep improving on cars to where we got a superior car to the first car, which is a Lamborghini today. So like I said before, you're not going to the great goal that you want to reach overnight. It's going to take time.
Well,
and that's the same with the Nation of Islam. And that's the same thing with black folks in America. We got to keep evolving. We can't throw away the first car just because we don't like it. If you throw away the first car because you don't like it, then you'll never get to the Lamborghini. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but those cars are in museums now. Ain't nobody riding around in no Model Ts in the first car. They're in museums and they're collector's items and stuff now. So,
but listen. If they would have threw away the first car, say, hey, I don't like it, it's no good, I don't need it, then we wouldn't have a Lamborghini here today.
Well, all the cars are still based upon, and the design, the basic foundation of cars is still the same. Ain't nothing changed. The basic, the foundation of a car, 4 wheels, steering wheel, blah, blah, blah. It's the same as it was the original car.
They improved on the idea.
That's all they did was improve on the idea.
And they are reaching it. They're reaching their eventual perfection to the cause we got today.
Yeah.
But
So,
they didn't give up. Listen, they didn't give up on their original model. They didn't give up on it. They just improved on it.
exactly. And that's what I said. I say that my ministry is an improvement. I'm saying that I am the Lamborghini. I am the rocket ship. That's what I'm saying. But at the same time, if you really look at me and listen, really listen, not hear, really listen to what I'm saying, you still hear. Matter of fact, even people even tell me, you sound like one of them Nation of Islam guys. Because that's where I come from. I'm still there. But I am Dr. King. I am Malcolm. I'm learning from all our people, from all these different things. But I'm learning, I'm trying to understand why they failed. So we brag about their success. I'm trying to figure out why did it fail. So I won't fall into the same hole. I won't have the same problem. Why did they fail? You know, we don't want to accept failure, but they did. All our people failed. That's the reality of it. They all failed. They did not. They wasn't successful. They all failed. So we have to understand why did they fail. And you want all this time because you don't have an idea. You don't know what you're doing. That's why you tell, we need 300 more years. No, you don't. No, you don't. You can accomplish. We could take control of the state of Mississippi in your lifetime. Within the next few years, we could take control of that state.
I got some points that I'm gonna let you go because I don't, we'll be on here all day. But what I'm saying is this here. Okay. You said that what you just said? You said something about I forgot what I wanted to say. You're saying a lot, but there's a lot in what you're saying that I want to bring out.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this here. You said that our people failed. Our people failed. Our people failed. But guess what? I'm going to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Who caused Dr. King to fail? Who caused the Honorable Marcus Garvey to fail? Who caused Dr. X to fail? Who caused that? Because Minister Farrakhan is still here. The Nation of Islam is still here. They haven't failed. They still here.
That don't mean nothing. Because you still here don't mean you didn't fail. Just because you still here, just because a remnants of something old, whatever, that's not what Farrakhan built. Is not the matter of fact. Legally, what Louis Farrakhan has is the Final Call Incorporated. He has no legal right to the Nation of Islam. Wardi Muhammad dismantled the Nation of Islam, and the only one that can have legal right to the Nation of Islam is those family members or those who are associated with that copyright or whatever they have. Farrakhan, if you notice, anybody, even me, I can publish all Nation of Islam material if I want to, because all Nation of Islam material is public domain. The family don't care nothing about it. Matter of fact, you don't even hear nothing about Elijah Muhammad's family even talking about none of this stuff. As far as they're concerned, it's dead and gone, and they don't even talk about nothing no more about it.
Well, that's not true, because
who?
Mr. Ismail is a minister in the Nation of Islam.
No, I'm talking about he don't have no connection to the original Nation of Islam. He don't have no connection to that.
Yeah, but he's the son of Elijah Muhammad, so he's still a part of Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah, but he don't have nothing. Everything Farrakhan got, go look at all the material. It's the Final Call Incorporated. He has no, I could call myself the Nation of Islam if I wanted to. Then it'll be confusion. Well, who's the Nation of Islam? And Farrakhan couldn't even sue me because he don't have the right to use the name Nation of Islam.
Well, according to Elijah Muhammad, he do.
No, he don't. He was just a minister. He wasn't part of the organization. He wasn't part of that. He was just a minister, a representative. He wasn't part of the he don't have no right to the material or none of that Nation of Islam thing. He don't have no right to that. There's a lot of people selling those books, making those books, And Farrakhan can't do nothing about it. He don't own the material, the original Nation of Islam. All that's public domain. All of it. He can only own his stuff, and ain't nobody running around trying to publish his stuff. They ain't interested in his books and stuff that he talking about. Ain't nobody trying to copy that stuff.
I don't know.
Let me say this, and we're gonna get out of here. This is a good talk, Brother Robert. I like this.
Yeah,
you was talking about how God created himself out of the blackness of space. You was talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, this is the problem with that. The problem with that is the darkness of space is not a color. Dark only means void of light. It's not a color.
Mm-hmm.
So that means color is there. You just can't see it because there's no light. But when you turn the light on, now you can see all the different colors and things of this nature, blah, blah, blah. Because the darkness of space only means in some parts there's no, light. There's no light. It's not lit up. Like when you turn on light, when you turn on your light, you can only see basically what's lit up by the light. But that don't mean some other things aren't there because you can't see them. You can't see them because they're in the darkness. The light, you can't see because there's no light. So how could he develop himself, or how could we actually say that God created himself black out of the darkness of space when there's color? We just can't see the color because there was no light.
Well, black is not a color. Black is the essence from which all colors come from. So black is not really a color. It's the essence from which all colors come. And Elijah Muhammad said that the sun up there, which is a red ball of fire, gives everything its color. But black is not a color. You understand what I'm saying? That's the essence from which all colors come from. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you something else about black.
Uh-huh.
Until you come into the light, you're dead. Because you're dead or underdeveloped. Until you come into the light, you underdeveloped or you're dead. When plants come out of the ground, they're in the darkness, but in order to develop, in order to have life, you got to come into the light. You can't stay in the darkness and develop in darkness. Very few things can develop in darkness. You have to come or be associated with the light. So we were in the darkness of our mother's womb for 9 months or so. But eventually, in order to continue to develop and grow, we got to come out into the light.
Right, but where does the sun come from? The sun comes from God himself.
Well, I don't know about that. You have no proof of no God did anything. So that's just that's speculation. That's belief. That's not that wouldn't even be accepted in a court of law. You couldn't bring that into a court of law and say, well, God created the sun. Then the judge gonna say, where your evidence at? Was you there? Where your witnesses at? But see, that's where it comes. See, that's the thing about belief. Belief does not require evidence. Either you believe or you don't. Your problem is going to be you believe, but you're going to teach it like it's facts. And when people start asking you these different questions or whatever, you're going to get messed up. You're going to get tangled all up in these things. It's just like I used to watch the Spider-Man cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Which is based off of black people.
Huh?
Which is based off of black people.
Yeah, whatever. But
no, that's fact. That's not whatever.
Yeah, I know black people do everything. Black people took the first dump. I know everything. That's cool. Black people. But you know something? Why do we want to always claim stuff? Why don't we claim that black people was the first murderer? Black people was the first rapist. Black people was the first killer. The first one that had STD. Why don't we talk about those different things? Why don't we say that black people started the first war? Things of that nature. Black people was the first ones that caused environmental destruction. Why don't you talk about those different things? Why we always got to talk about, well, black people did this and black. If we're going to tell the story, tell the whole story. Don't tell just a little taste so that you can feel good and like you holy and righteous. Because there's no holy and righteous people ever been on this planet. Nowhere. At no time. None.
Can you prove that?
By looking at looking at us now.
Yeah. Looking at us now.
And there's none according to history. All the history they found, there's no people. Now you got that makeup history. Makeup history, that's just some talk. There's no archaeological evidence to nothing. But all the history they done dug up, people been screwed up ever since recorded history. Ever since civilization. Matter of fact, there's nothing civilized about civilization. Civilization is created by violence. All civilizations are created by violence. They start off as a small tribe, and then as they get bigger, they need more resources for their people, so they attack neighbors, and they take their land, they take their women and children, usually kill off the men, and keep expanding and expanding and expanding. When you're dealing with civilization, you destroy people's own individual right to take care of themselves. So next thing you know, I got to go to the store to get something because they've denied your individual right to have a certain amount of land so you can go out into the jungle and get your own food, get your own water or whatever. Now you in civilization, somebody controls the jungle, they control the water. There's nothing good about civilization. Then they did an experiment with rats. When you start putting rats and pile them up on one another, they start fighting and killing each other and acting stupid, blah, blah, blah. But when you give all the rats the proper food they need, the proper space, they get along and peaceful. But we got people crowding these cities. You got people all crowded. The more people that you bring to this planet, the only thing you're going to do is bring more and more violence because there's not enough resources for everybody. Well, everybody deserves to have their own space.
That goes back to what I was saying about when white folks came to Arabia. They started making trouble among us.
Well, that's a story. There's no. That's a story that you believe. There's no archaeological evidence. There's no. That's just a story that's been told. We don't know. We don't even have their side of the story. You just have the people that's making the accusation side of the story. I wouldn't want to go to your court because y'all be biased. I already know I'll be lynched. I couldn't tell my side of the story. I'll be butt naked, marched across the desert. I'm like, damn.
What did the white man do when he came to America and he saw the Indians here? What did he do? Did he kill them all?
Well, actually, the Native American people was more affected by the diseases, and they were starved out because they actually was giving the white man a good run for his money. What caused them to really lose the fight was they were dependent upon the buffalo. Many of them was.
Who showed how to survive in America? Who showed it?
Huh?
Who showed the white man how to survive in America?
They did. The native people did.
Okay then. Okay. So
and you know something? People, they still do it. Do you know that these people still do that? I watch a lot of National Geographic, and they just recently found a brand new primitive people. And those people greeted them the same way they did those 100 years ago. These primitive people, they did the same thing, greet them. They have the same attitude, same thing. I don't know. I guess that's just the way folks are. They don't believe.
No, that's just how the white man is. That's not how folks are. That's how the white man is.
You can't say it's the white man. You got people from Africa that will tell you how evil and wicked Africans are. That's why they over here. Because if they wasn't over here, they say if I stay in my country, them Africans will kill me.
You come to America, they'll kill you here quicker.
No, I'm just saying what Africans would tell you. A lot of them are here because if they stayed in that country, they had to leave the whole continent because they fear for their life and came here, or they go to Europe.
Well, that's just them looking at TV and they want to be a part of a good life.
No. Those people, if you go to Sister Bernice King channel, because I follow her on Instagram, She talks about the Sudan and what's going on over there. These people don't want to talk about the atrocities that Africans are doing to Africans over there. I don't never hear Dr. Umar Johnson talk about that, but on her Instagram, she's always talking about what's going on in Africa. And these Pan-Africans don't tell you about the reality of what's going on in Africa.
Yes, but Africa is being ruled by the same enemy that we rule. They
was doing that. They was doing stuff to themselves way before European. All these people, go read their history. Even the Chinese Asian people, they've been fighting amongst each other for hundreds of years. Do you know? Whew, now you talk about, you know how evil the white man done us. Do European history and go tell me what they do to themselves because they didn't pay taxes. What they do to their own people.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, and some of that stuff they never tried on us, but you ought to see all that horrific stuff they done to themselves over there. All these people have done crap to themselves. Ain't nobody know one devil. The only one innocent out of all of this is the so-called Black American. We the only ones that's innocent, and nobody can say we done nothing to them unless we was in a war. The white man sent us to Vietnam or Afghanistan. But as far as we as a people, nobody can say we enslaved them and we oppressed them. We the only innocent people. But when you want to claim somebody else's history and want to be part of them, then you got to be part of that too. I don't want to be part of that atrocity. I'm glad to be innocent. I want to stay innocent, and I want to learn from their mistakes. And as I grow, I want to be the example that they should look up to. Just like Farrakhan said in one of his Black Man's Heaven is a white man's heaven is a black man's hell. There's a verse in the song. He said, the whole wide world is looking for you to see what the so-called Negro is going to do. They're not going to be looking at you if you're doing the same thing they doing. You have to be different from them. You got to be for real righteous than them. You got to be better than them so that you can be the example so they can look up to you and take humanity in a better direction. Otherwise, the only other direction for humanity is extinction, and maybe that's the best way to go. Just like Farrakhan used to say. I used to love when he used to say that. He said, you ain't no good on top of the ground. Maybe you do better under the ground. I used to love when he said that. I used to you ain't no good on top of the ground. Maybe you do better under the ground. And I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
True.
Yeah, under the ground. And at the rate we going, I think we'll do better. And I think it'll be more honorable that we just go under the ground and be done with it. Because how we doing? We supposed to be so intelligent and gods and warriors. All these queens and all these names we give ourselves, and we don't live up to none of these things. Even the Muslim names. We get these Muslim names. You should respect that name as a Muslim. But you got people named Elijah Muhammad in prison right now. You got people with all these Muslim holy names. Ain't nothing holy about them.
Well, you gotta let Allah do the judging.
Well, he ain't around, so
yeah, he around.
No. Yeah, he around. Oh, you said that every time that you see a black man, you see God.
Yeah.
I know because I was taught that. I know what the teachings is. I've been taught that ever since I was a child. So I know.
Believe that though? Do you believe that?
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But for those who do believe it, I say that they're hypocrites because if you really believe that, how could they, if they really believe that the black man is God, how could they have done Malcolm X the way they did him?
Okay, first of all, I got to say this here. You're not alone. A lot of black people believe that they're not gods, and that's why we're in the condition we're in. Our belief has to change. That's the problem. You don't see yourself as God. So if you don't see yourself as God, you will never be who you really are because you believe you're inward.
No, I don't believe that either.
What?
I don't call myself that, and I check people real quick. Don't call me that. I'm not that.
But a lot of black people do believe that. They really believe a lie from a white man that they niggas than to believe that God from a black man.
Well, some of us are acting niggardly. You know, some of us are acting that way. We profane, we're nasty, we're vulgar, we're murderous. You know, we slander, we gossip, all those different things. Matter of fact,
who taught them to do that?
Who taught them to do it? People do that. You don't have to be taught to do that.
No. Who taught them to be murderers, liars, killers, drunkards?
You don't have to be taught that.
Who taught them? No. Who taught them for the last 470 years?
You can go to any prison right now and ask them, who taught you how to shoot a gun, whatever, blah, blah. A lot of people taught themselves how to shoot a gun. They got mad and messed around and shot somebody. There's no class. You trying to say like the white man gave us a class on shooting guns and make sure you shoot yourself. That ain't how things go. People learn different skills. People kill you with their own bare hands because they get mad and angry. You know, you don't have to, ain't no white man told your wife to cheat on you. You know, you working hard and come home. Ain't no white man went to her. No, she found a dude on the job she was with. They start having an affair. Ain't with no white man around. That's just that's just things that happen. Ain't nobody going around teaching nobody and taught nobody that. That's just human nature. All over the earth, people get mad and angry and hurt people, or they steal because I don't have nothing and things. People been doing that for centuries around the earth.
Why? Why though? Why do people around the earth do that?
Because that's human nature. That's what people do.
No. The reason why people do that is because we're imperfect. And the thing that will make us perfect is the laws of God.
No, ain't no laws of God. You done had the laws of God for the last 2,000 or more years. Ain't no God help none of these people. They still doing the same. Matter of fact, in the Quran and the Bible, those people do not care nothing about no law of God. They continue to do whatever they feel like they want to do. They don't care about what the law of God. They don't care about like that. And that's because it's unnatural for you to be a slave. That's why people rebel like that. Because it's unnatural for you to sit around here and some sucker tell you, oh, you can't do this. And then on top of that, God don't do a damn thing for you. You want me to do this and you want me to do that. What is this God doing? God don't do nothing for you. Everything that you get, everything that you do, you have to do it yourself. God don't do nothing for nobody. At least when the white man do certain things, like these Negroes say, I got paid. You know, you can talk about Oprah Winfrey, you can talk about Tyler Perry, you can talk about all these people, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? They don't need you because I got paid. And your God don't take care of me. You know, none of your, all that stuff you talk about don't mean a damn thing to me because I got paid. I'm doing fine and dandy. Matter of fact, what's so pitiful about it is that these people that talk about people like Oprah or Tyler Perry, if they donate to you and gave you some money, they'll take it. Oh, you shouldn't even want their money. You shouldn't want nothing to do with them. And then if Oprah want to come and speak, oh, Oprah coming, she want to speak. She want to speak. I thought y'all didn't like her. I thought y'all had a problem with her. See, the whole thing is so hypocritical. Just like Elijah Muhammad used to talk about the politicians. Don't vote unless we find, he said you can vote if we find the right person to vote for, blah, blah, blah. You know, don't vote. Okay, you're not voting, and you don't want to be part of that system. It's so bad. But then you invite politicians to speak at your rallies. You know, the mayors and the sheriffs. The sheriffs is part of the system that's killing us out in the streets. You invite the sheriffs and the mayors and all these people. It was just so much hypocritical stuff that I seen going on because they say you know, I didn't vote for Jesse Jackson. Well, Minister Farrakhan wants us to vote. I said I don't care what Minister Farrakhan wants. I didn't come to follow Minister Farrakhan. I don't like Jesse Jackson. I don't think he would be worthy of me putting in some work, try to get him to be president. I don't like Jesse Jackson, and I didn't vote for Jesse Jackson. You know.
Let's back to the point. Let's get back to the point. The point is, the black man is God.
No,
so
that's a belief. That's a belief.
Listen. In order for us to be a God, we got to learn how to rise above our emotion into the thinking of God, like Minister Farrakhan said.
How would he know? How would he know? He met God?
Huh?
How would he know? How you gonna know? How do you know? How do you know how to get to rise to the love of God and you ain't never met God?
Well, we study the Holy Quran, which was written by God, and we study the Bible, and we study Master God in person, and we study.
You trying to rise to this imaginary idea of what you think the God is, because you ain't never met no God, and you can read a book by Michael Jackson. That's not gonna make you Michael Jackson.
Well, you can be a product of Michael Jackson if you study him long and hard enough. You certainly could be a product of it. You can never be.
But we know Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson exists. You never met and don't have no idea what this God is about. You don't know.
Okay.
And the God originate in a foreign land. He wasn't even born here. He came from y'all said the teacher said he came from a white woman, a devil, a chick.
Okay.
A black woman wasn't even worthy of God bringing a messenger from a black woman. He went out and found a good devil, the good white folks, to make a baby with.
Okay, is Kobe Bryant a product of Michael Jordan?
No.
Is Kobe Bryant? I ask you again. Now you know Kobe Bryant did everything that Michael Jordan did playing basketball.
He was influenced by Michael Jordan. He's not a product of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan will even tell you that.
Okay, well, how come Kobe Bryant did everything that Michael Jordan did?
Because he liked what Michael Jordan did, but Kobe was Kobe.
Okay.
He wasn't trying to be Michael Jordan.
Okay, well, he studied Michael.
And Michael Jordan even talked about it. Michael Jordan even talked about it.
Right.
He called Kobe his little brother. He never said, well, he trying to copy me. Michael Jordan never said that. No, it's certain things, it's just like me. It's certain things. I watched Minister Farrakhan for years. It's certain things that he do, that he say, maybe people don't see that in me, but I do those same things. It's certain things that Farrakhan do and how he carry himself, whatever. I do it. I do the same thing. I just like that about him. It's certain things that he's saying. I watch Martin Luther King. It's certain facial expressions, certain things that he do that I like. But I'm not Farrakhan. I'm not Malcolm. I'm not Dr. King. I'm myself.
Okay, fine. That's cool. But you still could be a duplicate of somebody.
I'm not a duplicate of nobody. I'm myself. There's only one me, and when I die, that's the end. That's it.
Okay, fine. But I'm dealing with other people.
Now you talk about zombieism. Now you talk about cloning. You talk about cult mindset. And I don't do that here. We're not doing the cult mindset and people,
Well, when Jesus said, let this mind be in you. So what is that?
Yeah, I understand that. But don't see, when I joined the nation and became part of the nation, I refused to let me go. See, I was listening to Elvis Presley before I joined the nation. And when I was in the nation, if they was in the car with me, I was still playing Elvis Presley. Brother, you playing that devil music. I don't care I like Elvis from when I was a child, and I still gonna play my Elvis. You don't like it, don't ride with me.
Who is Roy Hamilton? Who is that?
Who?
Roy Hamilton. Who is that?
Roy Hamilton?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Roy Hamilton is the black man that Elvis Presley stole his whole singing style from. The way
I understand all that type of stuff, and that's nice about him, or whatever, blah blah. I'm telling you, I'm listening to Elvis Presley. That's what I was listening to. And they talk bad about Bruce Lee. Well, Africans started. I watched Bruce Lee movies. I don't care. That's nice to know. That's nice to know the history or whatever. I watched Bruce Lee movies. I don't get caught up in all that stuff no more. And I never got caught up in that mess. I don't care about that stuff. I like Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly was cool, but I still like Bruce Lee better than Jim Kelly.
Okay, cool. That's cool. But guess what? I'm just showing you that you can be duplicated. You can duplicate somebody's mindset and become a little them. So you can duplicate God's mindset and become a
But you can't duplicate something that you have no knowledge of. You don't know. You're just making up something. I'm gonna be God. Where is your example of this God? So that it's like I'm trying to be like Ronald McDonald the Clown. And so what I do, I'm going to show you that I'm trying to be like Ronald McDonald the Clown, because I'm going to show you, here goes some Ronald McDonald commercials. Here's a picture of Ronald McDonald. Look at me. I'm trying to be like, like Ronald, because I got something to go by. Here you are talking about, I'm trying to reach into the mind of God and all like that. Well, what is your example? Where's the example is that you, because if you talk about the Quran and the teachings, everybody have their own interpretation of the teachings. But see, when it comes to Ronald McDonald the Clown, there is no teaching, because I actually have video of Ronald McDonald the Clown. I have audio tapes, everything, and people can say, you ain't like McDonald the Clown. He never wore a green glove. And then you look at Ronald McDonald the Clown, yo, you sure right. He don't wear no green glove. Well, I got to take the green glove off. I thought Ronald McDonald the Clown. See, because I have an example. I have his real example. I have something to really go by. When we talk about these gods, I'm into the level of God. That's just some make-believe stuff. Because you don't know. Yeah. Or what you're trying to do, most of you is trying to do is copy the living person that you admire. I'm trying to be like Farrakhan. So a lot of the brothers, some of them get their hair, they try to get their hair cut like Farrakhan, and when they speak, they try to talk like Farrakhan, and so, but because you don't know nothing about Master Farad Muhammad, you never met him. We don't even have an audio tape, and only one picture. See, that's amazing too. How can you be around, and there's only one picture of Farad Muhammad? So they say, and it's not even a real picture; it's a painting. How can that be? How can that man be so famous? So many people follow him in the air, and nobody don't have no pictures of this guy. It's just this one painting that Elijah Muhammad. Well, you do know that after Farad Muhammad left, all that stuff went to hell, and everybody went their separate ways or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I'm pretty sure a lot of those people, lost track of a lot of pictures and things of this nature and blah, blah, blah. And so when Elijah Muhammad came back to rebuild it, he wanted to bring his teaching. Because Elijah Muhammad is not teaching the original teaching of the Nation of Islam. He's teaching his version of Farad Muhammad's teaching. Because Farad Muhammad did not teach that he came in the person of God. He's in the person of God, that he's Allah. He didn't teach that. Matter of fact, he also taught the original Nation of Islam teaching. He taught human sacrifice. That's why he got in trouble in Detroit. Because the original Nation of Islam teaching, he taught human sacrifice, and one of the members went out and actually done it. That's why he got in trouble in Detroit. That's why he got ran out of town.
That's what the government put out there.
No, that's what happened. That's what happened. That ain't what the government put out. That's what happened.
Yeah, it happened, but Master Farad Muhammad didn't tell nobody to go kill nobody.
No, he didn't. But that's part of the teaching. People have the original booklets that was out because the name Nation of Islam is not even the Nation of Islam. That's Elijah Muhammad's name. It was called Allah's Temple of Islam. That was the original name, I believe. It was called Allah's Temple of Islam. That was the original name. And then when Elijah Muhammad came and raised it back up, he called it the Nation of Islam. It was not that's not the original name. It was called Allah's Temple of Islam.
Okay, so why was Elijah Muhammad so successful all these years?
Well, I mean, you call it successful, but to me, it's not success. It's just somebody preaching, and people believe in the preaching, and we already, those teachings to people who are downtrodden sound good. Oh, you did God, and you did this, that. That sounds good to people. So, they was attracted to that. And it's still spooky, it's religious, and God gonna do this and blah, blah. The only thing you did was go from one slave plantation to another. That's the only thing you did. People didn't realize that. That's the only thing they did was go from one slave. You went from the Christian, European, now to the Islamic Arab. That's all you did. You don't have nothing to yourself because your brain is not good as the Arab. Your brain is not good as the European. God don't give a care about us at all. So we got to get other people's hand-me-down. If God want to talk to me, God will bring me my own holy book. I don't want your Quran. That's for you. I don't want your Bible. That's for you. God should bring me my own book, my own messenger born from a black woman. And that's why I say I'm the Lamborghini, I'm the new kid on the block, I'm the new world, because my mama blacker than I am, my daddy blacker than me. I am a descendant of slaves born in America. My people are victims of Jim Crow South, which I was born in the Jim Crow South. There's no doubt about me at all. There's nothing foreign about me. I am pure black American. I am a pure soul brother. And I have my own brain. I don't need nobody to run around here and tell me God said this. If I'm God, what I need them for? If I'm God, what I need them for? Because I've grown into my God. You call me God? Yes. Well, I've grown into my godhood. And my godhood tells me that's no longer good for me. You drank enough milk. You ate enough cereal. Now it's time for you for meat and potatoes. It's time for you a better diet because you're an adult now. I don't need fairy tales. I don't need fiction and fantasy. I don't need that no more. I look at things realistically. And I'm not going to sell you something that's going to take thousands of years, hundreds of years. No, because I know what I'm doing. I'm telling you, if you do this and whatever, in your lifetime, in the next few years, you'll see results real quick. You don't have to wait no 100 years, 200 years, and 500 years. That's because, like I said, either you're a scammer or you don't know what the hell you're doing. And most of these folks, they don't know what they're doing. A lot of this stuff that we have is nothing but church. It has nothing to do with liberating the people. They use the black struggle to gain converts to the religion, converts to the ideology. It's not meant to liberate nobody. Because if it was meant to liberate somebody, we should be liberated by now.
Listen.
Yeah.
What does liberation look like for black people? What it look like? Show me an example of that.
An example of liberation would
Black
be
people.
you finally put yourself in a position where you can begin to provide for yourself the necessities of life. Food, clothing, and shelter. You should be able to do some of that on your own. And you should be able to bring water into your house, your own. You should be able to produce your own electricity. All other necessary things. I mean, we can't, from where we're at now, this would take time to develop as things go on. But when you become fully liberated, means now you don't depend on nobody else for your substance. If for some reason they don't want to take care of you, or you don't have to depend on them. See, this is the way I look at it. Like if we control Mississippi. See, my philosophy is, if we don't produce it, we don't need it. That's the way I look at it. If we don't produce it, we don't need it. So I don't need to get nothing from no other state. I don't need to get nothing from China. Because if we're not producing it, I don't need it. And see, we're materialistic. And we're used to all these different things from all over the world. That's not how life used to be back in the day. At one time in America, a lot of these towns and cities were self-sufficient. They actually produced everything they needed in their area. But now we are materialistic and we're consumer-based and we get things from all over the world. No, we need to break that up. Learn how to live more simple. We don't need all this stuff. When you die, you can't take this stuff with you. So why do we need all that? You don't need no special house to live in. You just need a roof over your head. You don't need something fantastic and something costs thousands of dollars and things. You don't need all that. We need to learn how to live more simple. Stop being so materialistic. If we don't produce it, you don't need it. So if we don't produce bananas, we don't need it. When I was growing up, Brother Robert, because basically my people produce everything, as far as food and stuff was concerned, my people produced it all because they were sharecroppers. We produced all that ourselves. And the only time we had bananas or oranges or Brazil nuts was like Christmas time, because we didn't produce that. We couldn't grow oranges and bananas and Brazil nuts. So that was a treat, a special treat. Christmas time, we know, we're going to get a banana, we're going to get orange, because my people didn't, if they wasn't producing it, well, first of all, they couldn't afford to go out like that. They ate and did what we produced. you know, consume what we produce. You know, I asked my grandmother about the Great Depression, and I told her, you know, did they suffer during the Great Depression? She said, what Great Depression? She said they lived the way they always lived during the Great Depression. It didn't bother them none, because they was producing their own food, doing their own thing. What they talk about, tighten up your belt? They said they've been tightening up their belt when they was born. It's like, they didn't trip off. Now for white folks, you know, they was committing suicide and acting crazy, blah, blah, blah. But our people, you know, at that time during the Great Depression, it was good. Actually, you had an advantage being a sharecropper, because you was producing everything. You know, they had cows, had chickens, had pigs, had all this land to grow turnips and whatever. I used to go out in the field and pull turnips right out the ground. Didn't even wash the turnip off. You know, just dust the turnip off and ate the turnip like it was an apple right there in the field.
Yeah.
You know, when I was little, you know, in Mississippi. You know, I miss those days. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, the best days in my life that I remember is when I was a poor child and didn't know nothing. We just lived our life, and all the family members was there. We got along with one another, and life was simple. You know, life started getting bad when people started getting older and seeking material things instead of family and things of that nature. Plus, it was just a hard life. You know, that sharecropper life was a hard life, and my mother and her brothers and sisters, they had to get the hell out of there. They got tired of picking cotton and that farm life. They wanted to do something better. They got tired of it because they were slaves. But that's how they was making their living, though. They was, you know, they got tired of that. So, you know, everybody started trying to get off the slave plantation. You know, they got tired of it. You know.
I'm gonna end it with this.
Okay.
With this here, that there's nothing better than eating good organic food.
Yeah. Right.
To live. But Elijah Muhammad said this here, and this still stands today, that we want 9 or 10 states of our own, of fertile, minerally rich land, with an outlet to the state. That's what we want, that's what we need, and that's what we're going for.
Mm-hmm.
And the government must supply all of our needs for 20 to 25 years until we're able to go for ourselves. That's what this government owes us, billions and trillions of dollars to get us started. And if they could do it for Israel, they've been doing it for Israel since 1948. If they could do it for them, they damn sure can do it for us here in America.
But they're not.
And that's what liberation looks like.
Yeah.
That's freedom, justice, and equality looks like. And that's what we got to strive for. America got 4 more years, man. And if you look at all the destruction that's happening this year, just this year alone, it's mind-boggling. You understand what I'm saying? God is making a statement that you're going to give our people, God speaking, my people, what you owe us.
I've been hearing that for years, Brother Robert. I've been hearing that since I was a little boy.
I understand you've been hearing that for years.
Yeah.
Noah preaching for years, too. Noah was preaching for a long time before the destruction came. You understand what I'm saying? So, but you're seeing signs of it right now. You look at L.A., you look at the fires, you look at the plane crashes, you look at all this stuff that's happening over these last couple of weeks, just in January, and it's just getting started. So I'm just letting you know.
I'm not impressed by it because, see, I'm a realistic. I mean, planes crash. You know, they've been having fires in Los Angeles, in California, for decades. California even sit on a fault line. Scientists say that California, one of these days, is going to probably suffer the big earthquake. It'll be so strong that it'll probably crack California away from the rest of the country. That's how strong, that's what they expect that's going to happen to California anyway. You know, there's a lot of things here have nothing to do with God. They've been going on for whatever. Planes crash. I mean, you know, that's nothing special. You know, blizzards. All this stuff is there's nothing out of the ordinary. I don't see nothing out of the ordinary. If you want to show me something out of the ordinary, tell me in the middle of summer that a big blizzard, God gonna bring a blizzard to Washington D.C. and snow Trump and the boys in for 8 months. That's how much snow gonna come on. Now that's God. But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. You know,
And guess what?
things happen and you want to give unearned credit to God, and there's no proof that God did nothing.
Guess what? And if God did that, you would still disbelieve.
No, I wouldn't. I'm like, y'all. What can I say? What can I say? If you told me that Allah is going to bring a snowstorm to Washington D.C. in the middle of 100-degree summer, and it happened, what can I say? What can I say? But this is the thing. I don't care if God is real. I'm still not going to bow down and submit to nobody. Because nobody, no alien, no, I'd rather be dead than bow down to anybody. Who the hell are you? You don't tell me what to do. You want to kill me? I'm going to die anyway. Kill me, sucker. I'm not your slave. So, yeah, you Mr. God.
I hear you.
You know, you Mr. God, and you can bring blizzards and all that kind of stuff. Kill me, sir, because I will never bow down to you, punk. You're a bully. You're a bully. And you're a murderer. And you're evil and you're wicked.
You're a disbeliever. You're a disbeliever, man.
No, I'm not going to bow down to some sucker ain't did a damn thing for me. Because you powerful. You ain't nothing but a bully. I don't have no respect for bullies. I don't like bullies. But then you're going to turn around, supposed to be peace loving. Ain't nothing peace loving about this cat. He's violent. He's unjust. He's a murderer. According to the Christian religion, he's an adulterer. He slept with Joseph's wife, Mary.
Which is false.
Well, he's supposed to got her pregnant or whatever. Anyway, according to the Christian teaching, he's an adulterer.
Well, that's false, because in the Bible it says that Jesus was made from the seed of David, and Joseph was. I'm
talking about as far as that's how they teach it. There are a lot of Christians believe that's how it went.
It's a lie. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's a lie.
Jesus, the whole thing's a lie because Jesus never existed. Never existed. Nope. He's not real. The whole story is, all that stuff is fairy tale. There's no archaeological evidence nowhere to support. There's nothing but stories. No. And that's why they call the Bible the greatest story ever told. And down south, when we used to talk about telling a story was another word they used for telling a lie. You telling a story. Country folks, you say, oh, you telling a story. Telling a lie. It's a lie. It's lies. Give them foreigners their comic books back. I don't want their comic books. I don't need that stuff. I don't need Jesus. And then, brother Robert, we need to get out of here. But another thing I don't like about all this stuff, it's all male oriented. It's always talking about a man. I'm like, damn, when y'all gonna start talking about women? It's all Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, blah, blah. You know, Lot, Job. Like, damn, did the women do something? God didn't care about the women? Where my women at? I got women behind me. I got women behind me. Do you know I started doing it because I looked at myself one time, Brother Robert, and I'm like, all this ding-a-ling I'm thinking about all the time. You know, it's all penis. I said, I started feeling gay. I took all the male pictures off my wall, even myself. I'm taking all the penis off my wall. I'm tired of looking at penis and talking about penis. It's, you know, all this stuff is about men. Even God is a man. God is a man. Like, damn, y'all penis worshipers. Y'all don't feel gay. You don't feel no kind of gayness. And then I remember being in the Nation and how they clap for Minister Farrakhan. Go ahead and clapping like little girls for this man. I'm like, y'all supposed to be FOI. You sound like little sissies.
Nah,
you know, I appreciate his little talk. I give him a little clap. But they, oh, holy apostle, and you know, your panties get all bunched up. You know, oh, holy apostle. I'm like, damn, y'all act a little jumping around for the minister. Y'all sound gay to me. I don't play that. But they don't. But you don't see that when you brainwash like that. You really don't. you really don't see it. See, I've never been like that anywhere. I never worshiped nobody. You know, Elijah Muhammad was just a regular man. I saw him as a grandfather figure when I was a little boy. I did not see him as some great divine person. I saw him as like my grandfather. I saw him as a grandfather figure that was trying to do something to help black people. I was not tripping on him like he's some great whatever, and I'm jumping and clapping. Oh, holy apostle, and clapping my hand like I'm a little girl. I never done nobody like that. I never done nobody like that. Now, if I'm going to do that, I'll do it for them. I'll do it for them. I'm not going to do it for no hard-legged dude. I ain't doing it. But I see men on social media do that all the time. Just recently, I seen what's his name? Charleston White. He jumping around for Donald Trump, you know, giggling and jumping, and my Trump won. I'm like, oh my, and they listening to this cat. Yeah, and then they turn around and talk about they heterosexual. I can't tell. Y'all got some penis, y'all some penis worshipers. And these guys get angry at me because I like women. And I talk about women. They get angry at me for that. Don't you know my poster? They even attacked my poster back here. I like women. I don't like men like that. I respect you. I honor the brothers. I don't want to see no hard legs like that. When I was in the Nation of Islam, we need to get out of here. Brother Robert, when I was in the Nation of Islam with Minister Farrakhan, most of my time I spent hanging around the MGT. I was around the MGT, and plus the MGT take care of you, because they was cooking most of the food and doing stuff. So I liked hanging around at the MGT. I didn't want to be around brothers like that. You around brothers all the time. I don't want to see these hard legs. You out on the street with the brothers, FOI class with the brothers, on post with the brothers. I'm tired of looking at all these old hard legs. I start hanging out with the sisters. And when they wanted somebody to be with the sisters, they said, go get brother Lauren. I was brother Lauren at the time. Go get him. He likes being with the sister. You're damn right. I don't want to be with y'all hard legs all the time. I'm not gay like that. I don't play that.
Well, Allah loves women because in the Holy Quran, chapter 19, it's dedicated to Mary.
Yeah.
Mary, mother of Jesus. So we don't teach just males, and anti-woman. That's a lie that they put on Islam. But in the fourth chapter of the Holy Quran, it's called the women.
Yeah.
And so I don't know where all that other stuff you talking about comes from. As far as us not liking women, I don't know what Islam you getting that from, but we love women. You understand what I'm saying?
No, what I said was, when you look at these religious teachers that they're giving us, all the men, all the characters, all the people in the Bible that did anything, all of it is male. The females don't do nothing. I heard of the prophet Ruth. I think Ruth, and I think there was somebody else, but she didn't do nothing. It's always Noah. It's always Lot. It's always Jacob. It's always Moses. Like, damn, where the women at? The women can't do nothing.
There you go.
Then when you look at the Nation of Islam, it's Farrakhan, it's Ishmael, it's Nuri. May she rest in peace. I had a slight crush on Sister Ava back in the day. May she rest in peace. But that was recently. I don't know how long you've been around the nation. There was a time, remember, when Farrakhan pretended to have MGT security around him. Remember that?
Okay, what about it?
That didn't last long. Next thing you know, it's right back to the regular FOI stuff. That didn't last long.
Well, like I said, but Minister Ava, she was a minister over Mosque. She was the first woman minister in the world. She was the first and only Muslim woman in the world. Minister.
Do you know how long she had been with that man before she became some kind of minister? Do you know how long she been with him? For decades.
Yeah, and she was teaching for decades too.
She was the MGT Supreme Captain for years.
Yeah, but she was teaching for years too.
Yeah, but she she still wasn't treated like they do men. It's nice, but they don't treat the women the way they do the men, regardless. They don't do that.
She was a minister over Atlanta, Georgia.
And even she's a minister and she's a female, but the only people she got to talk about is Jacob, Moses, Elijah Muhammad, Master, all men. She's a female minister and can't even talk about her own gender in her belief. All of it is about what the men do. The man did. I'm like, that's too much penis for me. I can't. If that's how y'all roll, go ahead. I can't do that. That's too much penis for me. Thinking about men and whatever about men every day. Penis. I worship penis. I can't do that. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well,
it sound gay to me. It sound gay. And matter of fact, when you go study them Arabs, they will show you how gay it is, because they have homosexual relations and stuff like that in them Arab countries and stuff like that. They buy male prostitutes over there in Arabia.
Yeah, well, that's why they're not the true Muslims.
They are the true Muslims. You the Johnny come lately.
No.
You the Johnny come lately. They done had the stuff for 1,400 years. You the Johnny come lately. You the one that just come out the woodworks trying to have the nerve to tell them, just like these Christian black people try to tell these white folks about Christianity. They the ones that gave it to you. We're the true Christians. How are you the true Christian? They the ones gave it to you. If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't even have it. If it wasn't for them Arabs, you wouldn't have nothing. And see, for me, I don't care, because I'm just like James Brown. I'm getting up, do my own thing. And what I got is better than what you got. That's why when they come here and challenge what I got, they got to fall down. They gotta doom. Another one bites the dust. Doom. That's what's gonna happen to them.
Okay. Okay.
On that note, though, we got to get out of here, Brother Robert. We need to set it up so that you can come back again. And like I say, brother, you can come here and just talk. I don't have to say nothing. It can be your show. You can just come here and teach.
Yeah.
Cause that don't bother me at all. I'm not like these other people. I do it with people all the time. I let people come here. Now, unfortunately, I had people that came here and did that, and they stabbed me in the back, slandered my name. Put my address on the line and lied on me. I'm like, damn. See what you do when you try to help somebody. But that don't stop me from keep doing what I do, because some bad apples came through. I still keep doing it, because in this way we get to talk to one another.
Yeah,
we get to talk to one another and because we have more in common than we do in difference. And we should concentrate on what we have in common and what we can agree upon. We concentrate on what we don't like and whatever. Who cares about? We already know what you don't like, what you don't agree with. Let's concentrate on what we can agree on and work on that and move forward.
The black man is God.
And that don't bother me. If you want to be God, that don't bother me. But don't force that on me, because I myself, I don't feel that way. I'm just Brother Talik. That's all. I'm nothing special, And in fact, I'm grateful, because I thought I wasn't even going to be here in 2025. I thought 2020 it was going to be the end of my time on earth. Back in 2020. Cancer diagnosis. So, and I'm still here. I'm still here. I don't know how many people I done seen come and go, since 2020. I'm still here.
That's by Allah's grace and permission, you're still here, man.
And you know something, that's what I tell people. Don't get angry at me, get angry at Allah. Get angry at Allah, because I asked Allah. I made a video back in 2020. Brother Robert, I was making videos in my hospital bed with hoses in my nose.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on video. and ask Allah, if I'm saying something wrong, whatever, go ahead and kill me. I'm done. You know, I'm not scared. You're going to die anyway. What's there to be scared of? You know, it's just over for me. But if I'm still here, then the people got to look at it like, and mind you, there's a lot of people that wanted me dead. There's a lot of people that said they was praying to Allah that I die, and I'm still here. And I'm still strong.
I don't know who would do that. Pretty for Allah to kill you.
Well, they did it. They wanted they said God, you know, they wanted God to kill me, and then when I die, they said they're gonna come to my grave and spit on it. Like, damn, and they Muslim. One of them was a Muslim. I'm like, damn, y'all some hateful people. You know, but Muslims not supposed to be like that. You know, Muslim not supposed to carry yourself like that. And you know, I like you, Brother Robert. You've always been respectful, even though you disagree on certain points or whatever. And it's a lot of people. I'm a FOI veteran. Regardless whether you like it or not, I helped Minister Farrakhan. If you with Farrakhan, I was there in the early days to help that man so you could be where you at today. And only 2 people gave me my credit. They said, brother, I don't agree with a lot of things that you say and blah, blah, blah. But I got to respect you for being there when I wasn't able to be there so I could be where I'm at today. Only 2 people did that to me. And they never said, they just left me alone. They didn't come on my page, you a hypocrite, Allah gonna kill you and blah, blah. They didn't do stuff like that. See, that's a Muslim. That's a Muslim. And you said black man is God, so it don't make no difference whether you like me or not. If I'm God, you have to respect me because I'm still God, whether you like it or not.
That's right.
And apparently, Allah want me here. And apparently, if what I'm saying, Allah is allowing me to say what I say.
That's right.
So, and maybe there's a reason for it. You might not know the reason.
Yeah.
But a Muslim just leave me alone, like they should have did Malcolm. Just leave him alone. But they couldn't do that. They couldn't do that. They just keep hounding that man until he took his last breath. That's not Islam. That's not Islam. If you don't like that man, like, just leave him alone.
Right.
But those people in 1965 couldn't do it. They were so filled up with hate. But see, they didn't expose Malcolm. They exposed themselves. And see, that's a blemish on the Nation of Islam record that will never be erased. They always gonna have to, you killed Malcolm. They always gonna have to deal with that situation. Should have just left the man alone.
Well, not really, because people gonna see that the Nation of Islam didn't kill Malcolm. They're gonna see.
Well, these youngsters. Now, I talked about that situation, and whenever I talk, I know I'm respectful, but I heard people like Young Pharaoh. I mean, they call Elijah Muhammad all out his name. I mean, really nasty, vulgar, nasty things. You know, that's not even necessary, but that's how a lot of these youngsters, you know, that's how they talk.
Where is he now?
I don't know, probably in the crazy house. And life ain't treating him too good. Matter of fact, he talking about getting a transgender woman. I seen a video where young Pharaoh talk about, these women ain't nothing. I'm gonna get me a transgender woman. I'm like, whoa. So you know he done fell down. You know, what they said, the chastisement of Allah, that's really the chastisement of Allah.
When you talk bad about Elijah Muhammad, you gonna suffer that type of fate, something like that.
But there's no reason. You can talk about people and be respectful. You don't have to talk. He call them all these different names and, you know, just nasty and profane. That's not necessary. And in fact, see, people always can tell me about the negative things they feel I say about Minister Farrakhan, but they never talk about when people try to lie on that man and I correct them. I've had people come here because they think that I hate Farrakhan or something, which I don't. But they come here and they try to say certain things about that man. I'm like, I never heard of that before. Where's your proof? Where's your evidence? Oh, you gonna change your mind about Farrakhan? I ain't changing my mind about nobody. I'm talking about where's the proof? Where's the evidence?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have no proof, no evidence, don't come here trying to bash that man, slander that man, and you don't have no kind of evidence, no kind of proof. I don't do that.
Mm.
And so, so they disappear. I don't do that.
Mm.
If you're telling the truth, or I think that you're telling the truth, you got some evidence, okay, we will entertain that. But don't tell no lies on no people. I don't play that. That's an outright lie. No, that didn't happen. That's not. I don't believe that.
Okay, well, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, we out here, y'all. It's going on 4 hours. This broadcast much appreciated. Thank you so much, Brother Robert. Thank you so much, Brother Robert, for joining us. And I hope that you would join us again in the future. I thank you. Wonderful conversation. I believe that the people are really gonna like our talk. And thank you, everybody, for joining the program. Facebook, YouTube, everybody in the clouds, and those who will be listening to this broadcast at a later date. Much appreciated. For myself, Brother Robert, as our ancestor Don Cornelius used to always say in parting, we wish you love, peace, and soul. We are Audi 5000.
Peace.
Peace.